Hey everybody, welcome back to Sunday Afternoon Smokes, your casual conversation podcast from the upstate of South Carolina. My name is Chris. I'm your host. I am also the owner and operator of the Cigar Box, a mobile cigar bar that serves the upstate and beyond. And today I have the opportunity to sit down with Matthew Bradford. And hey man, welcome to the show.
Hey, good. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Now, do you go by Matt, Matthew? I should have asked first because I'm like,
really, anything's okay.
Emailing you in text and it's like, hey, no.
Matt is fine. A lot of people call me Matty, hence the Matty's Patties.
Okay.
But Matthew and Matt, it doesn't matter to
okay.
me.
So I'm sitting down with Matt Bradford, and you've already, you need more fire on that cigar.
I know. That's
No, you're good, man.
Here.
Yeah, go ahead and
I got it.
Get it toasted up. Good there. I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm using a V cutter today. But anyway, on Sunday Afternoon Smokes, what I like to do is I let my guests introduce themselves.
Okay.
That just is the easy. I've got one over here. That's the easy way, I think, for me to do it. That way you can say whatever about yourself and not say certain things. So while you do that, I'm going to cut and light my cigar.
Okay. So, yeah, my name is Matthew Bradford. I am one of the owners of Matty's Patties. What started out as a food truck in Anderson, South Carolina, specializing in smash burgers and French fries. We've now pivoted into a restaurant in Anderson off Highway 187. And so that's what we do, is we make burgers and fries and hot dogs and all the food the doctors tell you you're not supposed to eat. That's what we specialize in.
What do they know? What do they know?
Well, we use beef tallow in our fries, so that's,
nice.
Now we're no seed oils.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's good.
They taste better too.
They taste so much better.
Yeah.
It's the way McDonald's did it before they switched everything over, and it's just so much better. And it makes hash browns will fry in it, even like fried chicken, just makes it taste better.
Yeah. Tallow fries, duck fat fries, or whatever is, we're jumping right into the food here, and I'm fine with that. Normally we get into cigars, which we will in a second, but does it when you're using tallow versus seed oils, is all the temperatures the same as far as your fry temperature?
It seems like it, yeah. From what we've experienced, there's a company called South Chicago Packing, and this is not a paid endorsement, although I'm happy if they want to talk to us about that.
South Chicago, if you're listening.
Yes, please. But they make, so traditionally beef tallow is really hard for restaurants because you basically have to pack the fryers with fat, before service, because it's not liquid at room temperature. And if you don't do a good job, and as someone taught me this a long time ago, as it heats up, it'll create air pockets. And then as it all starts to melt, those air pockets will escape and bubble up and cause a mess. You could burn somebody. South Chicago Packing, they do this process, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but what they do is they basically take the compounds that make it solid at room temperature, and they remove it. So it comes in. If you're working for food service, they have these big plastic tubs where they put the canola oil in that you put in the fryers. They sell it in those containers, and as long as it's about 70-ish degrees, you can pour it right in a deep fryer, just like
so. It comes liquid.
It comes liquid.
They've removed whatever compounds,
and I can't remember what it's called to save my life.
Sure.
But it makes it so much easier to fill a fryer up and keep that oil fresh, and that's a game changer for doing beef tallow. So shout out to South Chicago Packing Company.
South Chicago Packing Company. I need to write that in a note so that whenever this episode goes live, I can tag them.
Yep.
And you never know.
Hey, you never know. And they make a lot of. They don't make just stuff for food service. They do the spray canola oil, beef tallow, and
spray beef
tallow, which is really nice. We're trying to avoid those seed oils.
Sure. Yeah. Is their product? Because there's a big deal today with not just grass-fed, grass-finished. The beef tallow that they're doing, is it grass-finished? Is it grain-finished? Do you have any idea?
I think it's just beef tallow. Yeah, they don't do it's not like I wouldn't consider it an artisan product, and maybe that's where I've just lost my sponsorship with them. but it's beef tallow, and It tastes good, and it's easy to make, and I don't have to slave over a stove, rendering suet.
Sure.
Day. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, just for the general knowledge of people out there. We're talking about like grass-fed beef. Let's understand something. Like all beef is grass-fed. It's not like a calf comes out of its mother
and they just
immediately starts eating grain.
Yeah.
All beef is grass-fed. It's usually like only the last 6 months, maybe a year,
as they get to weight,
right, of their life that they put them on grain and then fatten them up, and you get more marbling. And I just prefer grain-finished beef to grass-fed. I think it just has much better flavor. Personally.
Most people do. Yeah, most people do. Yeah, true. And a friend of ours, they own. Are you familiar with? Oh my gosh, Providence Farm.
Yeah,
Beets.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they corrected me very early on. It's like we consider it pasture raised because one, they don't always all eat grass, right? They're eating whatever is out in the field,
right?
And they talk about that too. It's like if you're not used to eating really pasture raised beef, it can be kind of an off flavor because it's gamey and it's not as clean as what we're used to as far as like grain finished beef. So. Mm-hmm. It is kind of interesting when you put it in that narrative. It's like wild hogs, like that sort of thing. It's like, oh, why does this taste weird? It's, well, because it's a wild hog. It wasn't fed, a standard feed product to a certain weight and then gotten up to slaughter weight and they kill it. And it's sort of generic. Tasting.
I mean, wild hogs, they just eat whatever they can get, whatever they can find in the wild,
right?
So yeah, I mean, and that's the same with. Look, apparently, hopefully the background filters catch all this stuff. Podcast's background filters are really good, but apparently the Easley Fire Department decided on the same day that I'm going to do this podcast to come through my neighborhood, do their like Santa Claus toy drive. I just saw the fire truck pull in with all the Christmas lights on it. But hey, we're gonna do the best we can. But anyway, that's like what people have to say about eating venison,
right?
That it can be gamey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because, like you said, they're not raised on a farm and fed just a standard diet, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can get farm-raised venison if you want. I never have. I haven't eaten much venison in my life, but, whatever.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And we were thinking about doing like moving to a pasture raised beef or even doing some blends with some people. And really after doing some double blind taste tests, say that 5 times fast, people prefer the commodity beef the beef you buy at a grocery store. They prefer that flavor. It's got a nice texture to it, and it's a flavor that they're used to having.
I think that's the key at the end. Most people, I don't know, if you are, I'm trying to think about how long this real like local grass-fed
farm to table
craze has been in effect.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're 20 or older, you grew up on grocery store beef.
Right.
And so that's
it's what we're used to.
That's what your palate is accustomed to tasting. So I'm not surprised.
Well, and it pivot a little bit, like it's American cheese. Like people my age, like in their mid to late 30s, they remember when it was, American cheese, it's processed, so we're not going to eat it.
It's delicious.
And we're going to use cheddar. We're going to use this aged cheddar cheese on our burgers, and it's going to be this, and that's fine. But American cheese is so good.
Yeah.
It melts. It looks pretty on a burger, and it just tastes creamy. And people argue like it actually is just cheddar cheese. It's just been processed a little bit. There's nothing. Now the Kraft singles, different story. But American cheese is great, and it's what we use in all of our burgers.
Well, like you said, if you just get a block of cheddar cheese or aged cheddar, whatever, and you slice it and you put it on a burger, it will melt. But there's something about that American cheese. It is cheddar cheese off a block doesn't have that melty quality.
Well, and it doesn't. It breaks at high temperatures. As if anyone's watched The Menu, I stole that from The Menu. Great movie, by the way. It pokes fun at all the food culture stuff that was dominated the past 5 or 10 years. But American cheese doesn't break at high temperatures. It stays that consistency and that mouthfeel and that flavor. Yeah. Cheddar cheese, it gets too hot, it gets weird, and it sweats. We only use it on one burger, which is Benton's bacon and smoked cheddar. It's
dude,
delicious.
Benton's bacon is serious, man.
Talk about a sponsorship.
Yeah,
if Alan Benton wants to sponsor me, I will.
I love
those guys.
I gotta start typing these down in my notes because otherwise I'll forget them. I was going to say, just so that we should educate whoever's listening, I'm sure most people know this, we're talking about certain products breaking at high temperature. I mean, that just basically means at a certain temperature, you're going to have the food begin to separate into the ingredients. So like the oils will separate from the solids, and you're just going to have a mess, and it's not going to hold up.
No, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so I used to work at Revival Butchery.
Oh, okay,
a
great.
couple years ago.
Love those guys there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great crew. Shout out to Revival Butchery.
Yep.
Again, we've done that before on this podcast. And we sold Benton's bacon in there.
Oh, man.
And it was a regular thing over there. So like when you walk into the butcher shop, there's a certain atmosphere that you want in there. And so in the mornings, Jeremy would say, hey, throw some Benton's bacon in the pan. Oh. So we'd have a pan in the back, have like a single burner.
It's better than a candle, in my opinion.
And we'd just start frying bacon or whatever. But I will say this about Benton's bacon. By the way, Benton's bacon is good.
It's great. Yep.
However, I feel like Benton's bacon is a bacon product that you should consume in a dish or with something.
Yes.
If you just like want to fry a couple of pieces of bacon and eat it, Ben's is not the bacon you want. That it's
very strong.
It is so salty.
It's very strong.
So smoky. I mean, it's going to put hair in your chest.
And you and that's one thing we've learned from like cooking it, and like we deal with mainly Daryl, Alan's son. He's great, but like you have to learn how to cook it, because if you're not familiar with Benton's bacon, it is a shelf-stable product for, I think they say 3 months. So like when we buy it, it just ships in UPS. They don't refrigerate it. It doesn't have to be, because it's salt cured and hardwood smoked. But the problem with that is it's almost like country ham. If you cook it too long or you cook it too hard, it's just going to be a salt lick. And they'll tell you that. I think they recommend 350 degrees in an oven for 15 minutes, and that's it. Which if you cook bacon in an oven, they normally say 400 degrees or 425 for 15 or 20 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven at 350 at 15, if you're not used to it, it doesn't look done. And we've actually had to educate some customers about, oh, this bacon's chewy and this bacon's not done. Can you cook it crispy? And it's like, what?
By the way, bacon is supposed to be chewy.
Chewy. I agree.
If you eat crispy bacon, like my daughter, I had her this weekend, and she was asking me if I preferred, crispy bacon to chewy bacon, and I almost responded in some smart aleck way she wouldn't have understood. Like, bacon should be chewy.
Chewy, yeah.
Not like crispy and crumbly.
Nope.
It still needs to be chewy. It still needs to have some fat in it.
Yep.
And it's just a nice bite. It's it's kind of got like that consistency almost. It's going to have a little bit more because there's a lot of connective tissue, but like competition ribs,
yep.
Like you don't want them just to totally fall off the bone. They need to stay together, and they have a little chew to it, and that's how bacon should be.
I agree. Well, I married into a crispy bacon family, and I've slowly over the past 7 or 8 years, I've converted them into the true and rightful way of chewy bacon.
Good for you.
Well, it's a tough battle. Somebody's got to do it.
You've done your part for American society.
I'd like to think so. But yeah, it's funny. Like we'll have people come in. Oh, I want my bacon well done. I'm like, okay, I will cook it well done. I will do it for you. You're not going to like it. And sure enough, they're like, this is not good. It's too salty. I'm like, well, it's just what I told you. It's well done. It's salty. And like their country ham, same thing. 15 seconds, you decide. That's it. That's it. Just a little bit of grease, flip, done, and that's it.
Nice. All right, man. We're gonna get back to food, Matty's Patties here in a little bit, but right now let's get into the cigar game.
Yep.
And I know that you are a relatively new entrant into the world of cigars.
Yes.
So, like, how new?
Let's see. I mean, I had my dad. Like a lot of men, my dad smoked cigars mainly at the golf course. So it's not that it's a foreign concept to me. But and I smoked a couple when I was in college, but it was nothing really I took seriously. And then a good friend of mine, his name is Corey. Shout out Superior Defense. I'll spare you all the other companies he owns, but Superior Defense is one of the big ones. He got into cigars a few years ago, And I was out in Vegas visiting him, and he was like, "Hey, just let's go. We're gonna go to cigar bar with my dad." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And he just like headfirst me into like, "Hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it." And then I've always been fascinated with people that take their product very seriously, especially if it's like Benton's bacon. If it's a handmade product, it's just interesting to me. And so then I want to consume it. I mean, it's like bourbon. It's like anything else that we're all kind of in that same circle of like, it's an artisan product, and someone took a lot of time and effort to develop a blend, develop it with a wrapper, and how long they aged it, how long they fermented it, and that's just fascinating to me. And I've always loved that smoky, tobacco-y flavor, even before I started smoking cigars. So it just seemed like a natural progression to me. And I kind of like went away from drinking as much. Nothing happened. I kept buying bourbon, and I wasn't drinking it, and I just never drank it. But cigar just seemed a lot more easily. I can just get out on the back porch, smoke a cigar, and come back in. And I don't know, it just seemed like a little bit more relaxing to me. Does that make sense? Was that a good ramble?
No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, that is the essence of cigar smoking, more or less what you said.
Yeah.
Because, and I've said this ad nauseum on the podcast, but cigars are both communal, but they're also just as easily a solo venture.
Yes, agreed.
So, you've had a long day at work, a long day at Matty's Patties or whatever, and you're ready just to unwind your evening, and you've got an hour to yourself.
Right.
And you can get home, make a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, pour 2 fingers worth of your favorite whatever.
Right.
Take your cigar to the back patio, turn off your phone or whatever, and you can just unwind, enjoy something that you said is highly artisanal, 100% handmade. And there are a few products in the world anymore that are this artisanal,
right?
And you can just enjoy some quiet time to yourself with a fabulous product, man.
Right, exactly. And I don't know, just something about it just really resonated with me. And my friend Corey, he's like gotten way into it. He's even developed his own blends with, we're smoking Tobacco Tactical today. He's developed his own blends with Tobacco Tactical, and he's gone all in on the cigar stuff, which is great. I'm still learning what I don't know.
Yeah, there are so many boutique cigar companies out there that I don't know the half of them or even a quarter of them. Yeah. I had never even heard of Tobacco Tactical until you tagged them in that post the other day. And so I started following them, and that's what we're smoking today is Tobacco Tactical, right?
Yep. So you've got you have their Black Canyon system box pressed, and I have their Cameroon wrapper, what they called it. But depending on when this podcast comes out, I think they're going to do a public release of the Cameroon wrappers this coming Friday. For an unsolicited plug for Tobacco Tactical.
Hey,
they're not sponsoring this podcast.
No, they're not sponsoring this podcast, but I would be happy to have, I don't know, just a smattering of Tobacco Tactical cigars. Yeah. And over the course of the next 5 podcasts or whatever, we'll smoke strictly Tobacco Tactical with my guests.
Please don't let how I stored these. My wrapper is falling apart, but that's on me on how I stored them.
No, you just lost us a second.
Yeah.
You with South Chicago Packing, you lost the endorsement.
Yep.
And you just mentioned a cracked wrapper. But you know what?
It's on me.
However, I will say, look, Matt and I, we decided to go the man route. It's about 32 degrees outside right now.
It is very cold outside, yes.
Yeah, it's 32 outside. We've got the patio heater going. And so, I will admit that this is not primo cigar smoking weather.
Yeah, we're going to say the dry weather is causing the my wrapper, not the acrylic humidor that it was in when I traveled up here.
Well, I mean, mine's busted too.
Yours busted too.
So
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's 32 outside. It probably feels like 28.
Probably.
I even I said man route, but I did put on gloves.
I wish I had brought gloves.
Yeah,
I forgot.
We can pause the show. I can see if I can find you.
No, it's not that serious.
So anyway, no, like if you smoke enough cigars, which I do, you're going to have a cracked wrapper. You're going to have one that canoes or that tunnels.
Yep.
It's just the realities of a 100% handmade artisanal product that has to be maintained at a certain humidity level,
a certain temperature,
which is not easy. And like, I assume you took that acrylic humidor that you have from your house today.
Yep.
Set it in your car. I don't know if you left it in the car, you took it into the office.
Yep.
And then you traveled here. And so the humidity fluctuation, it's been all over the place. And so these cigars have gone through.
They've gone through a lot. They're poor little guys.
Yeah, no, they really have. I mean, I don't mean it. I don't want it to sound absurd to the non-cigar smoker, but
no.
in cigar terms, they've had a traumatic day.
It's like a bottle of wine, right? Same thing. You keep it in a car all day. You move it in and out. It's going to affect the flavor, and it's going to affect how this is constructed. Because and that's what I found always interesting about cigars when I start getting into it. Is like it's still kind of a living thing. It's a dead leaf, right? I get that, but it's the way that they're fermented, the way they're prepared, the way they're stored, and the way they're rolled. I feel like it's kind of a living product, and the way you have to keep it, like you said, at a certain humidity, a certain temperature. You can't just set them on a box. It's like a bottle of wine or a bottle of bourbon. You can't just, once it's in a glass, it's done. I know there's a little bit of art form to keep them. There is in their optimal state.
It is. It's more. I mean, if you want to call it that way, still a living product. I would say it is even more so than bourbon because, like, once the bourbon leaves the barrel, it's finished. Once you take it out of the barrel and put it into a glass bottle, the aging is over.
It's done. Yeah, there's a little bit of blending you could do, but the living aspect of it is over. Yeah,
it is.
That's a good point.
Now, with wine, you bottle it, and it will continue to age because of the tannins and the breakdown and this, that, and the other. But you and I both know, everybody knows, a bottle of wine can turn.
Oh, it can turn.
It can turn, or what do they call it? It's corked or?
It can get corked. It can turn. My mom's way into wine. Shout out to my mom. Love my mom.
So wine can, but a cigar, as long as you keep a cigar appropriately humidified and temperature, it's indefinite.
Yeah.
It will last 30 years if you want it to.
It'll get better with age.
It will. I've done some reading and listening to people online, and some people they're talking about their sweet spots. Some people are like 7 to 8 years is the best. People 10, but I've but I've heard people say that they feel like more than 10 or 15 years is
interesting.
It's almost a waste. It's like you can't really. I don't know whether that's
like
true
getting
or
the cigar, putting it in a humidor, and letting it sit for 8 years.
I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it either. Because I don't smoke that often, but I couldn't do it.
I want to smoke it. That's why I have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Drive me nuts that I don't smoke the ones that I have.
Sure. So anyway, let's go back to Tobacco Tactical for just a second because you rattled off what we're smoking. You've got, what is that?
So it's all I remember that it's a Cameroon wrapper. That's what kind of makes it unique to some of the stuff they do. But everything they do, they blend themselves. So they have a cigar club, and I believe, they probably don't want me to say this out loud, I think it's $55 a month, and that gets you 5 cigars. And every month it's a different blend, normally with some kind of theme to it. Sometimes they partner with other companies in that industry, like Black Canyon Systems, which is the collaboration you're smoking now.
So Black Canyon Systems is what?
That's a great question. I don't know. They make like my space where my 9 to 5s have been is in the firearms industry. So they do a lot of stuff with like gun bags and apparel and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
within that realm.
Yep.
The gun culture.
Yeah. Gotcha. If you want to, gun culture.
So this this is a collaboration between Black Canyon Systems and Tobacco Tactical.
Yeah, they did a whole line of merch, did a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. But yours is a Cameroon wrapped cigar.
Yep.
That's Cameroon, Africa, of course, tobacco grown over there.
Mm-hmm.
Cameroon is, from everything I've read, I've never seen it, but from everything I've read, Cameroon is a small, delicate leaf. It's difficult to work with. And I'm surprised to see it on a cigar that size, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
They said something about they made this blend as an inspiration when their trips to Japan. So as a cigar novice, I have no idea what that means. beyond that they blended it a certain way, but what smoking culture is in Japan, I know is very different than probably what it is here.
Yeah.
Well, I know that because I bought a key truck from Japan, and it still had, I'm not kidding you, 3 Winston-Salem butts in the ashtray.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I was like, man, all Winston-Salem, North Carolina, going from all the way to Japan and coming all the way back to Anderson.
That's funny. Now, other than the fact that this is the one I'm smoking is a box-pressed cigar collaboration between
Black Canyon system.
Black Canyon and Tobacco Tactical, do you know anything about the tobacco in the cigar? Like I mentioned earlier before the show, this looks like a Native American-inspired band on it. You know, like Navajo
a
or something,
yep.
kind of, but not that I'm a expert on things Native American. I have no idea.
I am a quarter Cherokee, so.
Are you really?
No. You never heard that joke? No. Everyone from the Southeast is like a quarter or 18 Cherokee.
That's funny. No, I've never heard that joke.
That may not be sensitive. We may not be able to post that.
Nah.
Matt Bradford, restaurant owner, racial insensitivity.
Yeah, that's fine. Sunday Afternoon Smokes is a raw podcast, man.
Good.
We just
that's
go.
Only kind that I do.
No, we're just so. You get the bulk of your cigars from Tobacco Tactical?
Yeah. So I was telling you a little bit before we started recording. So like Corey got me into cigars, and then I kind of went down. It's sort of like how people, when they start drinking bourbon, they do the same thing. They all get into Buffalo Trace, and everyone gets excited about, you know, the E.H. Taylors or the Elmer T. Lees or Pappy Van Winkles.
Somebody gave me one of the Buffalo Trace cigars.
Yeah, are they good?
They're awful.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's a bummer.
And I had somebody tell me that they were fabulous, and I'm like, all right, let me.
Okay, I didn't think they were going to be fabulous.
Somebody was just going on and on about them, about how great it was, and I tried the Buffalo Trace cigar, and it was terrible. I smoked about 10 minutes worth, and I tossed it. Yeah, I've smoked enough cigars to know what I like and what I think is good and what's not. I'm not going to waste my time smoking something that's just bad.
No, I'm not either.
And I just feel like a lot of those Pappy Van Winkle, E.H. Taylor, Buffalo,
now
like they're all just gimmicky.
Don't ruin my Pappy Van Winkle ones, because I love the whole thing of the what's the name of that? They use Perique tobacco in theirs, and that is fascinating to me as someone who loves a very niche part of a very niche culture. Perique tobacco is super cool.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Perique is a topping. It's something that you would layer over the tobacco to give it
it's a flavoring.
Sweetness. Yeah, it's not.
But just the whole process of how they press it and they unwrap it and they press it again, it's the whole thing.
It might be great.
It might be great, but I've been saying.
Do you have any of those?
I have 2.
You have a couple of the Pappies? So
anyway, I would go, I started getting cigars, and I went down that rabbit hole. Everybody, I was doing the My Father's, Arturo Fuentes, which is nothing wrong with any of those. They're all fantastic cigars. But 1, they're kind of expensive. And 2, I was just kind of buying the same stuff over and over and over again and really not expanding my palate. And then I started going over to a social with a friend, Social Cigar Lounge in Greenville. Mm-hmm. And you walk in their humidor, and it's so refreshing going to a place like that where you've got people that know what they're talking about, and they can kind of walk you through stuff. And that's when I realized I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I was like, hey, let's just start. I want to start getting stuff and expanding my horizon. And I had a friend who was kind of in that same boat. And so we started talking about Tobacco Tactical, and I said, hey, why don't we, I cannot keep up with 5 cigars a month. I'll be overwhelmed. So we just split the Cigar Club membership. Again, Tobacco Tactical probably, they don't say anything about it. So like we would just split that membership in half. I would get some cigars, he would get some other cigars, and we just swap, one gets 3, one gets 2. And that was just a way for both of us to sort of broaden our horizons and sort of understand, okay, well, I don't really like this Cameroon wrapper, right? I do actually like this Cameroon, but I wouldn't know. I probably wouldn't have bought it myself, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's what we did this with a Bourbon Club, which is an idea that I stole from another coworker. I'm really good at taking someone else's ideas.
That's all the world is, man. It's just people taking other people's ideas and running with them and trying to make them better. And that's, put your own spin on it, that kind of thing.
So like, and I encourage anyone to do this if you're into bourbon, because again, it's so easy to fall in just like, I'm going to buy the bottles that I like, right? Because why do I want to risk money? Like you said, with the Buffalo Trace cigars, like I don't want to waste my time and money with something that I'm not going to enjoy. So like what me and my friends did, we all got together. We said, hey, we're going to do this club. We're all going to pitch in. I think we said $20 to the pot. And then one person rotates every meeting, and we take that pot money and we buy a bottle. But the caveat is we have to spend the money on the bottle. There's not like we don't bank it for the next bottle. And we have to buy a bottle that we wouldn't buy for ourselves, right? Because then we can get a pretty nice bottle of bourbon that I would never spend that amount of money on a bottle that I've never had before. And we got to try some really unique things and got to share, like you said, with that communal aspect, got to share it with friends. So anyway, that was the whole thing with cigars. I'm like, I got to broaden my horizons. So this club seemed like a good idea to do that. Yeah. And it seemed pretty affordable.
Yeah, no, that's great. By the way, this collaboration between Tobacco Tactical and Black Canyon is really good.
It's very good. Yeah.
It's a very good cigar, man. I'm enjoying this immensely.
Good. And you might have to go back and edit this. If I remember correctly, that's the second one they did. They made one batch, then they reserved some of it and aged it.
Yeah.
So that's the box press, the second iteration of it, where it's been aged a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, Tobacco Tactical, look, if you're listening, just whatever corrections need to be made, just make them in the comments.
Yeah, just make them in the comments. No, they all seem like really cool dudes. If you haven't followed any of their stuff, especially if you're already kind of in that space.
I mean, when I see a picture of a dude smoking cigar, and it's a faraway shot whenever I looked him up, but when I see a picture of a dude smoking a cigar and he's ripping off some rounds from an AR-15, I'm like, yeah, I'm down with these guys.
They did a couple months ago. They did if you're familiar with the key vans, the little mini Japanese vans, they did a whole wrap of a key van in like a marble kind of branding with Tobacco Tactical, and they do these things. They did a camo Traeger pellet smoker last month, where you buy it, you get some entries in, and they give them away. They gave away a key band.
Nice.
I mean, it's pretty cool. They do some cool stuff.
Awesome.
And they make great cigars.
Yeah. So do you have some cigars on your list that you'd like to try, but you haven't got around to them yet?
I've got a Padron, I think a 1964 anniversary
classic.
That I've been saving. I told myself I was going to save it for when we opened our restaurant, but I have not had time to smoke a cigar since we've opened our restaurant, so I haven't smoked it yet.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that I've been like, because that was quite a bit of money for me as like a novice cigar.
Dude, that's money for me.
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
That's like a $30 cigar.
I know,
$35, something like that.
But besides that, and that's like again what I'm trying to like broaden my horizons on is like, what's a Elmer T. Lee cigar, right? In the bourbon world, what's a Pappy Van Winkle cigar? Not in the collaboration sense, but like what is one to chase or one to pine after? I don't know.
Opus X by Fuente.
Oh yeah, the Opus X.
That would be a big one. Maybe certain cigars from Davidoff.
Okay, see, I've not smoked any Davidoffs.
Yeah.
So that's
where do you? I'm looking at the cigar you have, and obviously I know it's Cameroon.
Yeah.
So, but that's going to be. It looks to me somewhere a medium.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you like to be on the flavor range? Like mild, medium, full, medium, full.
Medium to full. It's like a medium rare.
Okay.
I feel like everybody says that, but I normally, and now it depends on what I'm doing. Like a lot of times I'll smoke cigars when I'm outside, like doing yard work or whatever. So normally a lighter to medium cigar I kind of go for there, but something like this where I'm just sitting out with a friend or even by myself, probably something a little more full strength.
Yeah.
But I've sort of gravitated toward Dominican cigars, but then as I've started to smoke more, like some, like my father's and some other, what's the other brand I smoked the other day that was really good, but it was Nicaraguan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like this a lot, almost more than some of the Dominicans I smoked. So
Well, remind me whenever you when we wrap up and you head out, man. I'm gonna give you one of my favorite cigars that I have in there.
You do not need to give me a cigar. But
Well, why not?
I guess it's too
I mean,
kind.
it's America. I can do whatever
you
I
can do
want
whatever
to.
you want. Yes, that's very generous of you.
It's a boutique Dominican company called Artista.
Okay.
And they have a cigar. It's the Artiste Harvest Sumatra. So it's a Sumatran wrapper, an Indonesian Sumatra wrapper
Yeah,
with Dominican binder and filler, and it's phenomenal.
that sounds
My
good.
favorite
Yeah,
cigar.
I would
So
love it.
I'll hook you up. Man, Merry Christmas. There
Well,
you go.
I appreciate that.
That's a good reason.
Well, if there's any more of these tobacco tacticals you want to take home, I'm not going to be. Again, I have so many cigars at this point at the rate that I smoke.
How many cigars do you have at home?
Not many, but I don't have time to smoke because the caveat is my wife, who I love dearly, and you could give me the world and I would not trade it for my wife.
Yeah.
Hates cigars.
Really?
Hates them. Yeah. You put smoked paprika in a dish, and she'll get that look like there's something in here I don't like. What is it? She doesn't like smoke. She'll do barbecue once a year.
That's a shame.
Yep. It's like I kind of.
I mean, like, I guess considering that you converted her to chewy bacon.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the big win there.
It is a big win, and it's I laugh. Like,
we don't want to push the envelope.
No, we don't push the envelope. I told her, it'd be great if you smoke cigars, and we could just both sit out here and visit for an hour. But she doesn't want anything to do with it. Yeah, which is fine.
My wife wasn't wild about the me smoking cigars, and then she felt like I was smoking too many cigars, and we kind of had some intense moments of fellowship over how many cigars I was smoking, which wasn't a ton, honestly. I smoked about 3 to 4 cigars a week. That's where I was, but
that's a lot to me. But I'm
sure.
I'm like one a month, so
But I don't smoke as much anymore because she needs a lot of my attention now that she's
right.
With her condition, so I just don't sit out here as much anymore and smoke as I used to. But whatever. Maybe one day the Mrs. Bradford will
come around.
Maybe.
We'll see. And I joke that, like, even if we're grilling outside, like grilling steaks for dinner or something, I gotta come before I go to bed. It's like a delousing, from a movie. Like, I gotta stand in the thing. Somebody scrubs me down head to toe. I get hosed off. It's a whole thing. I have to like smell my mustache to make sure there's no smoke in it.
Yeah,
because
it lingers in the mustache.
It lingers. It lingers in the facial hair. And I also think it lingers in my nose hairs. Which
absolutely.
That's probably
well. Do you retrohale? Have you learned the art of retrohaling?
I've not learned that art yet. I've been trying to practice it, but I end up just inhaling it.
Yeah, well, that's can be difficult. I retrohale pretty regular. You get a lot more flavor that way.
Yeah,
but it definitely stays in the nasal cavity and like in the nose hair and just everything. And so you go to kiss the wife, and she's like,
"Oh, yeah, don't do that."
And I'm like, "Come on,
you sleep on the couch."
No,
she would never do that.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, shower before bed. That's the rule. So I'll take a shower before I go to bed tonight because I'm out here smoking a cigar, and it's in the mustache. And especially if you have any kind of mustache that has any length to it, dude, it's in there.
It stays.
It's in there, 100%. So maybe you should make yourself, man, just if you can carve out 1 hour a week, and this is just Matt's cigar moment. Yeah, it's on the calendar. It's scheduled. I know. Every Saturday evening at 9 p.m. or whatever, this is mine. Right. Now, I know you're a busy guy running Matty's Patties, doing your
9 to 5 job.
Yeah, doing your 9 to 5. You've got, you're married. You have kids?
2.
Okay, you're a father. You're a husband. You're running. And so,
do I have enough going on?
I understand.
Do you have any puppies that you want to give me? Because I feel like I just don't have. I've got so much free time right now.
I don't. But if I did, I would. My wife, look, dude, so I have 2 cats, and cats 3. Are easy because they don't really require much attention, not like a dog. And my wife is on me. She's like about wanting a puppy. I take it back. She doesn't want a puppy. One of our cats is super just paranoid, skittish. Like, she only comes out at night. You never see her during the day. She'll sit with you a little bit. And then my other cat, whose name is Marcy, she can be she doesn't really like Well, she's the one you met.
Yeah, okay. That was the
she
gray
looks like
one.
a Russian blue.
Yep.
And she's nice 50% of the time. She doesn't really like people to pick her up unless it's me. And so she can be real snarky.
Yep.
And so my wife just tells me she wants like just a little lap dog that's 4 or 5 years old. It's already housebroken.
Yeah.
Something that now that she's disabled, we'll just sit with her. She can pet and all this stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, babe, I love you. I love you. That is not in question. Should not be in question. And, now just with our situation, I do literally everything. And I'm like, it's just the last thing I need is something else to take care of.
Yep. That's fair.
And I have a little door cut. I have a little 45-degree angle cut in the bottom left-hand corner of the door that goes into my garage, and it just stays open. The cats go in and out, use the litter box. But if you have a dog, you got to take it out.
You got
to take it out. You got to walk the dog. You got to and I'm like,
it's a mess.
Do I really? I mean,
we have 3 cats, and it's a mess. Sarah and I are like, it's cats were her idea, and she's like, let's put these cats outside. I don't want to deal with them anymore. Because when you got, we have a 2-year-old and we have an 8-week-old, and then we have a small business. Then she has a part-time job, and I have a full-time job.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was that with everything you've got going on, I know you're a busy guy, and there's literally like 25 things demanding your attention throughout the day.
True.
But a guy in your situation, everybody needs a moment of solitude.
Well,
so if you can carve out, just like I said, pick your hour. It doesn't have to be Saturday 9 p.m. But if you can do it once a week, and it's like this is Matt's cigar time right here.
Well,
and
that's what
you just get to check out.
I've been trying to get into, or like getting more into, and it's hard in that space, the cigarello space, because like so our cafe, we're open, our restaurant is open 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm there usually every morning at about 4 in the morning to like do prep, make biscuits, make sure everything's set for the day.
Man, I got to get down there.
Oh, man, it's good. Come on. But anyway, we've got some outdoor seating, and I thought, it'd be kind of nice if I can get my prep done. I'm already there. I can just take 20, 30 minutes, smoke a little cigarette.
You don't even need 30 minutes for a cigarillo.
Oh, I don't?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that, like 20 minutes maybe.
It's like a 12-minute smoke.
Okay. Well, then a smaller format.
I mean, you could slow it down and stretch it out, but it's still, like you said, it's still a cigar.
Yeah, not an hour commitment that
right.
some
you just don't have
cigars
time
are.
for that. Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing something like that once we sort of get our rhythm in that space. But
cigarillos are a great option, man. I used to smoke a few of those in the morning, like give myself. Yeah, you can. I think a 30-minute window is great for that. You don't need the whole 30 minutes generally, but I would smoke one and then head to Revival.
Yeah.
Sit on my front porch in the morning, have a cup of coffee and a cigarillo, and then I'm off to work.
Right.
But yeah, you could get in, open up the shop, start prepping, getting things ready for breakfast, and then step out for 20 minutes and just kind of have some peace, clear your head, and then get ready to crush it.
Have a delicious cup of Silva coffee. It was our another podcast sponsor for the day.
Hey, Silva Coffee. Look, for you fans, like that episode was a great episode. I'm going to reschedule after Christmas with Silva. So Silva Coffee, we're coming for you, man. And I'm all out of Silva. I'm drinking my other favorite here, Blackwater Roasters in Seneca. Shout out to Blackwater, great people. But let's get on into Matty's Patties, man.
Yeah, sure.
So give us the rundown really quick.
Okay.
Obviously you're open for breakfast, lunch, but just give us the rundown. Where are you? What's the hours?
Yeah.
What's the social media handles? How can people get in touch with you if they need to?
Yeah. So we're in Anderson. We're on the kind of the other side of Anderson towards the lake. It's off Highway 187. The address is 1900 Highway 187, Anderson, South Carolina, 29626. If any listeners know Fort Grove Barbecue, do you know Fort Grove Barbecue?
I've been wanting to go to Fort Grove forever.
So this is what you do. You come over to Matty's Patties for lunch, and then you drive over to Fort Grove. We're just down the street. and then get dinner, take it to go. It's probably the best barbecue in the state. I would say, hot take alert, it's better than Lewis.
Okay.
I would say, I'm not even. It's better.
Should
than
I
Lewis.
tag Lewis in this?
Yeah. Dylan Cook is a phenomenal chef when it comes to barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm trying to muster the money together to have him install some fans that can direct airflow away from my restaurant, because if the wind's blowing in the right way, all you smell is delicious barbecue all day. And I'm like, Dylan, I want my customers to come for my burgers, not turn around and go to your barbecues, because that's what I would do. So far, he has not gotten on. He's not all on board on that idea yet, which is strange. But anyway, if you're familiar with Fort Grill Barbecue, we're just down the street, across the street from the Villager Cafe. Like you said, we're open 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., breakfast and lunch. We don't serve beer yet. We don't serve wine. What else? Oh, social media.
Yes, that's in the works.
Yes. Ice cream and beer and wine should be in the works. Hopefully by the summer. That's the goal.
Nothing like a cold beer at 6 a.m. with your breakfast biscuit.
We're on the business of judgment. We're in the business of selling burgers. Someone asked that. They got a big order, but they didn't say who was to go. And it was a smaller frame woman, and I was like, I'm not judging you here, but are you going to eat this here? Or are you going to go? She's like, oh no, it's all to go. Oh, okay, good. Because we don't judge at Matty's Patties. We just take the order. We give you food. It's good.
Social media handle.
Yes,
that's what it is.
At mattyspatties.sc is Facebook and Instagram, and I think it's mattyspatties_sc on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. We do have a TikTok, but I don't ever post anything on it. YouTube. We have a YouTube page, but there's not much on it either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Yep.
So, we're going to back up just a little bit before Matty's Patties.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Yeah, so you've worked in sales most of your life.
Yep. So,
but I see here you mentioned to me before the show Bluebell ice cream. I'm from Texas.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Texas man.
So you're familiar with the Bluebell game.
Bluebell's the best ice cream, hands.
It's the best. There's not a question.
I remember, I'm an honest guy. I'm a Christian. I've never wittingly stolen from anyone. But when I moved from California to South Carolina in the 2019, I remember getting into Texas, into El Paso on Interstate 10, and I was coming up on a Bluebell truck, and I had an intense desire to rob this guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's Brennan, Texas. It's the best.
It really is the best. Have you? So if you're from Texas, I want to ask some deep Bluebell lore here. Have you had the cantaloupe and cream?
No, I have not.
Man, no one know that. Everyone that I met at Texas has said that was their favorite flavor.
Cantaloupe and cream. I've never even heard of it.
I'm going to mispronounce it. Some Texas Whataburger fans are going to be in the comments and say this is how it's pronounced. Pecos cantaloupe, Pecos cantaloupe. They're grown in West Texas.
Yeah.
And when they're in season, Bluebell, they may not do it anymore with their whole, shutdown and things that they did a few years ago.
Listeria.
The Listeria stuff. They would do a cantaloupe and cream.
I bet it's banger.
Homemade vanilla and fresh.
I've got some Bluebell Dr. Pepper float in the freezer right now, and my number one all-time favorite, just the classic Bluebell cookies and cream.
Have you had the cookie two-step?
I have.
That's my favorite.
It's good. I mean, it's basically a combination of cookies and cream and chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yep.
Pretty much. I like the chocolate chip cookie dough. It's not as good as cookies and cream.
No, I agree.
My mom is a huge fan of just straight up homemade vanilla.
Oh,
I mean, it's a blank canvas.
Mm-hmm.
You could do so much with the homemade vanilla.
There's a guy I worked with. We were talking about milkshakes one day, and he goes, "You know what I do for milkshakes?" And I was like, "What?" And I was scared to ask. And he goes, "I melt homemade vanilla." So he melts homemade vanilla, then he puts whatever flavor ice cream he wants with that instead of using milk. Wow, I've never thought about that, and that sounds delicious.
Yeah,
why have I not done that yet?
Yeah. No, Bluebell, man, it's where it's at. I think it's just the best ice cream, hands down.
It's cheapest ice cream, hands down.
Well,
if you look at it per ounce,
if it's
and per weight, it's the cheapest.
I mean, look, not to knock on all these other places. Like, I would rather just get Bluebell than go to like Claire's.
I've never been to Claire's, but
some of the other ice cream shops around here,
I would agree with you.
I mean, just it's
a consistent product.
I can't even finish the
Flavors are
sentence.
good.
It's so
well,
it's
and
perfect.
not to like I worked for Bluebell when I was in college. Then I worked for them full time after I graduated.
Yeah.
So like I've kind of got indoctrinated into the Bluebell culture. And unfortunately, there's like a small part of my brain that cannot detach the information that I learned about Bluebell.
Yeah.
It just won't go away after 10 years. But like, so there's a story, and this is what was told to me, so it may be wrong. Nestle may come at us now. But when Bluebell's first flavor was homemade vanilla.
Nestle, if you're coming for us, man, we've got Tobacco Tactical on our side.
We do. We have a lot of guns.
Just word to the wise.
So they did homemade vanilla, and the second flavor was cookies and cream. And at the time, they were going to the grocery stores in Brenham and buying Oreos and then crushing them up, putting them in the mix. Well, as cookies and cream started selling more, they were buying all the Oreos they could get. So then they called Nestle and said, hey, is there any way we can just order like bulk Oreos? And they said no. Then it was like 6 or 8 months later, they came up with cookies and cream ice cream. Or Oreo
well,
ice
Nestle
cream.
they screwed the pooch on that one.
So then what Bluebell did is they doubled down and they built a bakery to make
We'll make our own
Oreo cookies. And so that bakery they use for almost any baked good that they sell in their ice cream, like the red velvet cake or the pie crust. They
Wedding
make
cake, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. They all make that in house. Or like when they used had a banana split flavor that was excellent. You would go on the line and there's people sitting there peeling bananas. I mean, everything's fresh. It's not it's their commitment to quality at the scale that they are at is fascinating, and it's remarkable. Which is why I'm a Bluebell fan.
Yeah, well, whenever I was in California for nearly 20 years, you couldn't get it out there.
No, you can't get it out there.
And
they're like the In-N-Out of ice cream.
Except they're much better than In-N-Out.
Yeah,
In-N-Out, their burgers are okay. Their fries are terrible.
It's overrated. It's like
yeah,
Whataburger.
it really
it's
is.
overrated.
Well, and I'm going to say this. I'm from Texas. I know what Bluebell ice cream is. I know what Whataburger is. The Whataburger here in Easley sucks.
I haven't been to one Anderson
I've
yet,
been to Whataburger in Texas. It's
yep.
legit. It's good. The one out here is a massive disappointment.
I need to go to the one in Anderson. I hate on other fast food places, but the problem I have with fast food places is how inconsistent they can be. Like, I've gone to McDonald's and get a double quarter pounder with cheese, and it is phenomenal. It is so good. It looks good. It tastes good.
Yep.
Then you'll go to one, and it's clearly they threw a slice of cheese like from 10 feet away onto my burger.
American cheese.
And then they just like top the bun, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, did my 2-year-old make this? Because I think my 2-year-old made this. So that's my problem with fast food places. It's so inconsistent. And when it's good, it's good.
Sure.
But,
well, anyway, so I backed up a little bit because I want to talk to you about being in sales and then Bluebell. And then eventually, man, so how do you wind up, like you said, in college and after college at Bluebell? Then
Nightforce Optics.
Yep. And then I've got a wild idea. Hey, I'm going to start a food truck and sell burgers. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'd always grown up cooking for my family. I got really into cooking when I was in high school. And then as I was going into college, I just was cooking more for myself and really enjoyed, it's funny, going back to the communal aspect of like sharing a meal with people and like, hey, we're going to try this recipe. Because a lot of times you try a recipe and it's way too much food for one person to eat. So you can share that with other people. And I just really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that hospitality aspect to it. And so I always kind of fostered that. I quickly became the one guy that was the one member of the family that I was cooking the turkey every year. I was cooking the ham every year. I was making 4th of July dinner. I was that guy. So then when my wife and I got married, it was funny. Her brother, of all people, we were engaged. Her brother I love him to death. He looked at me and he goes, so you work at Nightforce Optics? I said, yeah. And he goes, what do you want to do after that? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, do you want to do anything else? You're just going to work a job your entire life? And I never thought about it. I was like, no, I guess not. And then I started thinking about, what do I want to do? And, cooking, serving food seemed like a natural progression for me, even though I had no experience working in food service or anything like that. And so then COVID was happening. People were starting getting into food trucks. Food trucks were kind of more of a thing. And I originally wanted to do a restaurant, which is so hilarious that I wanted to do a restaurant as my first, delve into food service. I have a friend in Charleston that if he hears this, he's going to start laughing. That's what I wanted to do.
He's like, I'm going to start right at the top.
I'm going to start right here. So then I was like, well, obviously we don't have any money, so the restaurant thing is out. But then we looked at food trucks and thinking, well, the concept that we want to do, smash burgers and fries, that really bodes well for a food truck because we're not having a giant menu to keep up with. So then we looked at what that looked like as far as having a food truck. My wife likes to remind me that we were about 3/4 of the way to having this conversation of starting a food truck. And she starts giving me some resistance. I'm like, hey, what's up? What you not want to do this? She goes, you never asked me if I want to do this. I said, oh. Like,
that's fair.
I was like, that's fair. I was like, well, do you want to do this? She said, yeah, absolutely. I said, okay, good.
Just kind of include the wife in the plan.
Yeah,
right?
Well, she's my business partner, and some people I've had people, which I don't receive this, are like, oh, that's a way to divorce. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't see how you do it like without your spouse. Like she is so gifted when it comes to organizational, like scheduling employees, the HR stuff, like really the minute detail of organization that she can bring to the table, I could never do. And I don't think Matty's Patties would be here if it weren't for her. I'd be selling burgers out in front of the house. We wouldn't have a food truck. We wouldn't have a restaurant if it weren't for my wife.
Yeah.
So thankful that she said yes to that.
And so you launch a food truck in what year is that?
That was 2020.
Oh,
20? Yeah, 2020.
Great time to launch a food truck.
Yeah, it really was a great time.
Was it?
Yeah, once like everybody started getting back to like normal life, food truck stuff kind of started going back downhill. Also, I think a lot of people saw the money people were making on food trucks. Not that we made a lot of money on food trucks, but people saw what people were doing with food trucks and said, oh, I want to do that. That's easy. I can do that. And so that's why you see, like, you go down White Horse Road right now and there's 100 food trucks. They're all kind of serving the same thing, but there's an oversaturation in that market. And so I think you're starting to see that. We're seeing that decline in Anderson, at least as far as food
trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you just don't, you got these fly-by-night people that they don't know what they're doing, or they may not be doing it legally. And then they, say you have a bad experience on one of these food trucks, and then you just kind of write. It's like you get a My Father cigar and you have a bad one. You and I both know, okay, well, it's a handmade product, whatever. But someone might go, I'll never have a My Father cigar ever again, right? So the same kind of thing with a food truck. I think some people have a bad experience and they just write off the food. That's how a food truck is, and I'm not going to go to Matty's Patties again.
Yeah, well, not all food trucks are created equal.
They're not.
It's exactly what you're saying. You have to take into consideration, it has nothing to do with the truck.
Right.
It's just a truck. It has everything to do with who's in the truck.
Who's in the truck, what they're doing, how they're doing. And there's a lot of great food trucks out there, especially around here. But I think, like, even in Anderson, there's a lot of guys that they don't have any signs. They have a phone number on the side of it. They're always open, but nobody's there. Like, what? There's just something's not right there.
Yeah.
Like we stopped doing public events a year ago just because we wanted to make sure that we were going to make money. And just setting out on the side of the road somewhere, even us doing advertising, you can't guarantee that revenue. So if someone wanted to be there, we'd say, hey, look, and our minimums were very low, but we asked for a minimum every time because we have to make our money.
You have to.
We have to pay our employees. To pay Cisco wants payment usually.
Usually. Yeah, no, they want payment.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So how was the evolution of your food truck as far as like the truck itself? You get a truck, and then you have to. Was it already a food truck that you bought from somebody else, or you had to renovate this thing?
So we used a company, Ron at mycustomfoodtrailer.com. I believe that is their business name. So they're in Charlotte. So they do trailers and food trucks, and I believe they had a used one there, but I think the used that used panel truck market's kind of declining now. But yeah, they did the whole build out. So we told them, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we want. Now I will say a caveat. They're great guys, but it's like anything else. If you tell them you want this way, they will do it that way. They're not really advisors. So there were some things like on the truck that if we were to do over again, we would have done differently. But that's not a criticism.
Yeah, but that's hindsight stuff, right?
That's hindsight stuff. And that's not a criticism of their craftsmanship. We've had inspectors on the truck and say, we've never seen a food truck built this way before. Like, this is so nice. It's so easy to inspect. It's so easy to manage what you've got going on here. So they do a great job building the truck. But there's just like a couple little things that like, man, if I go back, I would have done it this way and not that way. And, you know, somebody might go, well, they should have told you that. I'm like, no, they shouldn't have told me that. They're in the business selling food trucks, not being food truck advisors. They, you know. But anyway, that's how we got that done. And we famously, my wife, bless her heart, I had some PTSD from driving trucks for Bluebell. I was terrified of driving that truck, or our food truck. Still kind of am.
You were probably driving the truck in El Paso that I almost
no,
and I almost pulled over. And
I was driving a smaller truck in Wilmington. And anyway, we won't talk about that. So I was so scared driving that truck back from Charlotte. I was shaking.
Oh, no doubt.
And
that's so much investment. Man.
It's so much. And I looked at Sarah and I was like, because I told her, I was like, I may not be comfortable driving it, because we drove our car up there. Someone's going to try the car back. And I looked at her and I was like, can you drive it? And she goes, really? And I said, yep. She did, all the way from Charlotte. Didn't complain. It was. But anyway, so that's.
I bet, like, have you lived that down?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you ever will.
No. And I give her a hard time. Like, I drive the truck like driving Miss Daisy. I barely go 40 miles an hour unless I'm on the interstate, and I'll do 50. But if I'm just on surface streets, I'm doing 35 or 40 at best. And like, I'll take wide turns. Like, I drive it like it's a bomb, which it kind of is technically.
Do you map it out, do right turns only?
Yes, I do. Sarah drives like she's in a rally race. She's doing 60 miles an hour. She's driving like a car. She just goes whatever.
It's like Smokey the Bandit.
Yeah, she's I got to get these burgers, these people. I'm going. And it's like, I love you. I could never drive. It makes me nervous in the car, in the truck with her when she drive that way. She's like, that's great.
Right. So you get your truck. This is 2020.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, you get your truck, and then what is it, man? Are you just like scouring social media for events? You're calling people, trying to be visible, going to public stuff as a food truck. Like, how is the establishment of Matty's Patties?
Yeah,
going?
so we looked at places where we wanted to set up, which we were a little naive and like, hey, we could set up here, we could set up there. Well, that's private property. You know, and then it's trying to talk to the property owners, and that was kind of a nightmare. So yeah, we did focus on primarily like the farmers market, because they always were really nice to us about having our truck there. Some other little places downtown. We were with Magnetic South for a while until they started opening up their kitchen 7 days a week, which love those guys. And then we're just chasing events like weddings. People want us out for catering, like catering or lunch. Like, we got if you're familiar with Anderson, we've got a lot of manufacturing facilities there. So a lot of them, hey, we want to cater for our lunch for whatever reason, and we'd come out and do that, and it was great. We always enjoyed that. It was easy for us.
Nice.
And that's what we kind of focused on that last year with the truck. It's just doing stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, well, let me just take a moment and let you know that this episode is brought to you by the Cigar Box, my bespoke mobile cigar bar serving the upstate of South Carolina and beyond. Whether it's a wedding, corporate gathering, birthday, or any celebration that deserves something unique, the Cigar Box brings a curated cigar experience directly to your event. Built around a custom teardrop trailer that functions as a full humidor, we provide premium cigars, exceptional service, and an atmosphere your guests will talk about long after the night ends. Learn more or fill out the booking inquiry form at mobilecigarbox.com. You could also send me a DM on Instagram at mobilecigarbox. Now back to Matty's Patties. So is is the food truck just done?
Yeah, pretty much. It's we really wanted to keep it and try to run both because we expect people to be more interested in our truck now that we have a cafe. 'Cause it's a little bit more a restaurant. It's a little more approachable. But honestly, even just like trying to take stuff off the truck that we need for the cafe and then put it back on, and then managing employees for two different schedules for two different type businesses. For our capacity, it's just not there. So we thought that it'd probably be better if we could, free up some working capital, right? We have some equity on the truck, get some capital out of that, and then focus our full effort on our restaurant. I think that's the move. So if anyone's interested in a food truck,
I will
give them a very good deal.
Yeah, reach out to Matty's Patties.
Shout out to Matty's. Shoot us a DM.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's where you said you wanted to be. You said you had a friend who, if he was listening to this, he was going to laugh because you're like, I want a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so, but then you decided on a food truck.
Right.
So when you made that decision, was it, let's have a food truck with the intention of eventually one day we're going to have a restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the restaurant was always the goal.
That was the goal. Yeah, the food truck stopgap would be one way to put it. Another way to be like test a concept. It's like, is Anderson ready for Matty's Patties? And we felt like that it was. And we've been looking for some spaces, restaurant spaces, commercial property. Is, if I can be candid, is a nightmare. It's a nightmare situation, at least in Anderson. I don't know if I was in Greenville, but it's a nightmare.
It's probably a nightmare everywhere.
Well, and easily too. It's I will spare the soapbox, but so we were constantly looking. We had talked to some people. We looked at some spaces, but for our concept, if people are familiar with restaurants, like, we don't need a lot of space. Our menu is very limited. It's very small. We really only do two things: hamburgers and hot dogs and French fries. So we didn't need some 3,000 square foot, expensive space. So we found this opportunity that we got in near the lake, and we thought this is a good opportunity. It's the perfect size for us. Timing was not right at all, but I don't think timing is right for anything. It's like people say, "Oh, I'm going to wait till the right time to have kids." Like, there's not a right time to have kids.
It's never the right time to get married. There's never the right time to have kids.
Nope.
There's never the right time to buy a house.
Nope.
There's just some things. Now, that doesn't mean don't think about it and don't maybe try and use some wisdom. Because, I mean, there's never a good time to have kids, but there's certainly a wrong
time to have. Yeah, there are very much wrong times to have kids.
So, yeah, I mean, to your point, it just really wasn't.
Yeah.
But you pulled the trigger anyway.
But yeah, we probably didn't know that it was the right time until we were 3 weeks into it. Because my wife was not, we didn't have two kids at that point. She was still pregnant. So we were like, oh yeah, this is fine. We can manage it. It's not a big deal. And then we have an 8-week-old. It's a big deal. But
you've got a new one.
Yeah, a very new one.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're making it work, but it was a good opportunity for us, and we didn't feel like it was going to come up again. So we pulled the trigger, and here we are.
Yeah. So you said y'all are, like you said, you don't need some big 5,000 square foot. You're a small operation.
Yep.
So I mean, is it is it a sit down joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kind of it's a hybrid, like a quick service restaurant. So we have a register station. You come up, you order, we give you a little table marker, and then we bring your food out to you. So we don't have waiters and waitresses, but the space is very small. I think the dining room is maybe 900 square feet, 800 square feet, if that. So it's a very accommodating environment. We have all the the artwork up from Matty's Patties events and stuff like that, and photos that we've done. So it's pretty cool. We think the vibe's right in there, and so far it's been good. So far people have been pretty responsive to it.
Yeah, nice. Are you starting to get some heat here?
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable.
Okay, Good deal, because it's I'm trying to keep it stoked on my my pellet heater, and let's see, like I said, we're doing the We're just kind of bowing up on it here. Yeah, it feels like 28, but we're doing
and
good.
we have to be careful. This is cold for South Carolina.
That's true.
You know, there's going to be someone, you know, in Boston is like, it's not that cold.
Minot, North Dakota.
It's not cold. You guys are.
Yeah, no, I had at physical therapy today. My wife's physical therapist. She got in yesterday, I guess, or today from visiting her family in Ohio. She was like, I was in. How many feet of snow did she say?
No,
it's
too many.
Lots of snow.
Too many.
Yeah, we're talking about feet of snow, not
too
singular.
Nope.
But but anyway, so like, what's the current? As everybody who lives in the upstate of South Carolina knows, I mean, the place is exploding. Has been for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's just exploding. So, how long have you lived here?
So I moved up here. I've lived here for about 12 years.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've been able to witness the growth.
Yeah.
And have you live in Anderson?
Yep. We live in Anderson.
So have you always lived in Anderson since coming here?
Yeah, since coming here.
Okay.
I've always lived in Anderson.
From when you got here to where it is now, like, what are you seeing on the food scene in Anderson?
You know, that's a really good question, because there's a lot of restaurants in Anderson that have been closing.
Okay.
Yeah. Fickle Palate just announced that, if you're familiar with Fickle Palate in Anderson, they were doing some really neat stuff, culinary speaking, and they just announced that they're closed. So I don't really know what's going on there. Another place downtown, Shucks, they've closed. So it's strange. I don't really know what the food scene, but then we've got like a place like Maki, which is great sushi in Anderson. They do great stuff, and they're expanding their restaurant. So I don't know if it's Anderson or if it's management. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's I feel like we're trying to hit our mark with trying to be a quality product at an affordable price.
Yeah,
we do get some pushback for our price, which I find very funny because we're not that expensive. You can get a double with a side of fries and a drink for about $20, which I think is pretty fair. It's a 3-ounce patty, so that's a little bit smaller than what people are used to, but it's a certified Angus beef. You know, we use high quality ingredients. But yeah, but the price seems to be a big deal for people right now. So I think that's what's pushing people away from eating out, or maybe going to a place like Fickle Palate where it's going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. So you said you're kind of like a hybrid restaurant. You're not quite fast food, but you're not like,
we're fast food, but we're not fast.
Yeah, I mean, you're not fast food, but you're also not like a sit down with waiters.
Right.
So like you said, you come in, you order, you get a little table marker, you're going to bring the food out. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it like fast food abounds. Obviously, Anderson has, you have McDonald's and you have Wendy's and you have Jack in the Box and you have blah 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 blah. So, but do you feel like those places are a competition for Matty's Patties, or?
No, I don't think so. I think like our competition is going to, if you're from Anderson, you know, like Arnold's, Besto, and Arden's. Those are like our three main, I would say, burger competitors. I've
never been to an Arnold's. Then they're all over. I heard
they're good. It is like, be prepared to feel your arteries slow down when you eat. And that's not a criticism. It's good food, but like I'd never been there before several years ago, and a friend said, "Oh, you got to go and get a chili cheeseburger." I said, "Okay, I love chili cheeseburgers." It was like 3 bites in, the whole thing fell apart because there was so much cheese and beef and chili and bun. It's just like, it was like, what am I doing? And it was delicious. And then I just passed out in my car.
Yeah,
like
food coma.
A little coma there. And I'm like, I need some blood thinners. Yeah, just give me back.
Smelling salts or whatever it is.
But yeah, I mean, that would be our competition.
Yeah,
would be those places, and it's good competition. Like I said, those are all good restaurants.
Yeah,
I live not too far away from Besto, and I would go to Besto a lot more if I didn't have a restaurant that served cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
I just eat a cheeseburger there.
I hear you, man. So let's talk about what makes a great cheeseburger from your perspective. I mean, you're Matt of Matty's Patties.
Yeah.
You're running a food truck. You're opening this restaurant.
So good.
So what is you 80-20, 75-25?
Probably, if I were going to make one for myself, it probably would be 75-25, because I do like a little bit more fat in my burger. For what we serve is 80-20, and there's a lot of reasons why, but I like 80-20. We've tried blends. We've actually tried blends from Revival Butcher, actually. We had some blends made for us for that, and they're all great. But there's something just about 80-20 chuck for me. It's a perfect balance of beefiness and fattiness that really makes an excellent burger. And like we talked about, we use American cheese. That's pretty much the only cheese we use, and it's the cheese that I would use on my burger. I normally get a triple because I have a problem. I started eating doubles when we started Matty's Patties. Like, oh yeah, I'll get a double.
Well, but they're small patties.
They're small patties, but still, and we've now escalated to where my order is a triple. I'm scared that in a year we're going to do this again, and my go-to order is going to be a quad, and we're going to have a lot of problems at that point. But that's a tomorrow problem, not a today problem. So yeah, 80-20 beef. We use Martin's potato rolls, if you're familiar with Martin's.
I've seen them in the store. I've never had them.
Yeah, so they use a potato flour as their primary flour. So there's a little bit of sweetness there. Not as sweet as like a King's Hawaiian roll sweet, but we toast them in butter. And so that adds a nice little flavor that you don't really get from just like a white potato roll or a normal hamburger bun anyway. And then we have a burger sauce that we make in-house that's a secret recipe. And just so in case anyone, if they come to Matty's Patties and say, I don't want ketchup on a burger, there is ketchup in the sauce. So I always suggest if you don't want the sauce on the burger, try it on the side. Because that's what makes our burger is our sauce.
Yeah, it's the secret sauce. I mean, in my opinion, if you want ketchup on your burger, go sit at the children's table.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah, we don't truck with ketchup around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a children's condiment. I've had this conversation before on the podcast with other people. Like, I'm a mayonnaise mustard guy on my burger.
Me too.
You know, if you want barbecue sauce, depending on what you're doing, that's fine.
That's
but
fine,
like,
yeah.
if you want ketchup, put it on the fries.
Yep, ketchup on the fries. We have a friend in Atlanta. He has a burger. He has a restaurant called NFA Burger, which is not effing around, which is hilarious to me. Billy is a character. Billy Kramer runs that restaurant. And I think last time I was there, he has a sign up that says he'll put ketchup on your burger. I think it's for $1 million. They'll do it.
Yeah, for $1 million.
For $1 million. They have ketchup like we have. We have ketchup on the side. You want to get ketchup? We got ketchup bottles. Sure, have at it. But we won't put it on your burger for you.
Yeah.
You got to do it
you
yourself.
just point to the sign.
Yeah, no ketchup.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're what, 80-20, would you say chuck?
Yep, chuck. We just
chuck grind.
Yep.
You've got potato rolls, toasted, use some butter. We're going to toast those.
Yep.
American cheese.
Our sauce. And then we do
the secret sauce.
We do a seasoning on the burger. And this is a trick I learned. So if anyone's ever done smash burger before, they have no concept what it is.
Is that all you do is smash?
That's primarily what we do.
Okay.
We'll run some thick burgers. I love a good thick burger. I just love burgers. Sarah, when my wife and I were talking about doing a food truck, like, what are we going to do? And we thought, well, what food can we eat every day as burgers? We could eat a burger every day. And that's not like a conjecture. I literally eat a burger every day at this point. Tuesday through Saturday, I have at least one burger. Again, my daughter probably doesn't love that. But anyway, so yeah, smash burger. We take a 3-ounce patty, 3 ounces, a ball of ground chuck. We put it on a hot griddle. And then what we do, we learned this from a friend in California, we season the beef before we smash it. So the seasoning hits the flat top and it toasts a little bit.
Yeah. And
then that's when we smash it. And then as it smashes, it sort of collects those toasted spices on the grill. And the seasoning blend's not a secret. It's onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and MSG, because we're not scared of MSG at Matty's Patties. And that's what we use for our seasonings. Then we smash it, flip it over, American cheese on top on a toasted potato roll.
Sounds
pretty
delicious.
Simple. It's simple and it's good. That's what we try to do.
Yeah, no, so quick question. Are you, if you had to choose between a smash burger or I guess what we'll call a traditional patty.
Yeah, like a pub burger.
Thick
burger.
What do you, thick burger, what's your...
I don't know if I can make that call. I mean, I eat a smash burger about every day.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, what I'll do if I'm, especially if I'm working the grill, I'll take 2 patties make it into one patty and kind of smash it down, and sort of like a hybrid thick burger, smash burger. And that's really good. We've got a friend in California, Trip Burgers. They're in Los Angeles. He does that with a blend that he makes himself. And he's the only person that's convinced me that a blend is worth it on a burger. And he puts a little bit of bacon in his blend. And he won't tell me how much bacon he puts in it, because I've tried it. I've tried to make my own blend with bacon, and there's either too much and it's like dry. It's like a weird, dry, salty flavor, or there's not enough and you don't taste it at all. But he calls it a Westchester field. Westchester, or no, it's just a Westchester. So he inverts the bun, right? So the flat side's on the outside, and he has a thick burger, and he has a slice of cheese on the bottom, slice of cheese on top. It's damn near a perfect burger. I mean, it hits all the saltiness, it's just all the right flavors in one bite. You can't top it.
You should grind a little Benton's.
Oh man,
and just kind of throw it in
$10 burger for a single. I love Benton's, but man,
I'm
people. I know it would. Or
you could try something else.
It would be good.
But I don't know. I'm sure, like you said, you've tried it. I think, or did you say you've tried it?
Yeah. We did
try the blend.
We did a few blends with Revival Butchery, and they did one with it was like chuck, brisket, oxtail, and then I think they put bacon in it, and it was good. I thought it was good, but we basically did a blind taste test with our customers. They did 2 or 3 blends for us, and then we had our 80/20 truck. Dressed it the same way, cheese, sauce, toasted bun. Everyone, like as a rank from 1 to 4, they all picked number 1, 80/20.
Yeah.
And I think the one with the oxtail and bacon was like the last place every time. It was weird. So I was like,
well, I mean, the flavor profiles may be a little bit different, but maybe not a ton. I mean, it's a lot of it is fat content. I'm just kind of the opinion that you can take whatever cuts off the cow that you want to, but once you put them through a grinder,
right,
they're all the same.
Right.
That's why I think it is like these stores and places offering Wagyu burgers.
Yeah,
it's marketing nonsense.
It is marketing nonsense.
You would never actually eat a Wagyu burger.
No,
like you would not cut a 6-ounce piece of Wagyu and make it into a patty and eat it. There's way too much fat.
No.
So like a brisket burger, and like I've made, I don't know how many brisket burgers I made at Revival Butchery using brisket and then the seasoning, and we hammered them out and freeze them, and people loved them, and they're good.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people come in to Revival Butchery wanting us to grind. Is that thing being goofy?
No, it's good. Yeah.
Wanting us to grind ribeye to make ribeye burgers, and I'm like,
I have a story about that.
If you want us to do that, sure, we'll do it. I mean, I'll take your money, but it's like, why are you doing that? You're ruining the best cut of meat on the cow to turn it into a hamburger.
So, and remind me, I have shirts for you. So one time, like my wife and I love going to restaurants, and one of the restaurants we love going to is steakhouses, all kinds of steakhouses, the high-end ones, the old school like peddler steakhouses, just all of them. They're just so cool. It's like America in a restaurant, in my opinion. And so I was like, man, it'd be cool to do like a steakhouse night, you know, like do a real elevated menu out of the food truck, just say that we did it. And I was reading this is gonna be so stupid. I was reading Lee Iacocca's autobiography, which is a great read if you've never read it. It's fascinating because it talks about, you know, Ford in the 50s and 60s when just they were doing whatever they wanted to do. And there's a story in there that just resonated with me. So apparently, I guess it was Henry Ford the second or third, the one that worked under, or one that Lee Iacocca worked for. He loved hamburgers. That was his favorite thing. And so Lee would travel with Ford to all these places, and every time he'd order a cheeseburger. And every time he'd say, you know, this is good, but it's not as good as the one they make at the, you know, the cafeteria, the corporate cafeteria. So one day he was down there, Lee was down with the chef, And he tells the story of the chef. He goes, "What do you do to make this cheeseburger so good?" And he laughs and he goes, I'll show you. So he goes in the cooler. He pulls out a dry-aged ribeye steak, puts it right in the grinder, patties it up, puts it on the flat top. It's like, well, yeah, no wonder that burger's so good, because it's a dry-aged ribeye steak, as a burger. And that's what we did for our steakhouse night. We took a bunch of dry-aged ribeyes, and I deboned them, cut them up, grinded them up, and it was good. But it also was very expensive.
Very expensive. That's a very expensive burger. I mean, a ribeye burger is going to be obviously more expensive than a chuck burger.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you're going to add in dry aging,
that's
now we're talking,
whole nother ball game. But I got a friend in New Jersey. That's all he does.
Yeah,
is dry aged ribeye burgers.
Yeah. All right, man. So we've talked a little bit about the burgers. So we know what the grind is. We know there's cheese. We know, what do you guys? I mean, are we just doing traditional? Like, what burger toppings are an option?
Yeah.
Like, what's on the menu?
Yeah. So what we like to do, like, we try not to overcomplicate things. Like, you'll never see a pile high burger on our menu.
So this is not Bad Daddy's Burger Bar.
No, and there's nothing against that.
Yeah.
But like this is a lot of burger lore in a podcast, so I apologize. It's like drinking out of a fire hose. George, have you ever heard of George Moats? He's a big guy on YouTube, has his own restaurant in New York. He's like a burger historian. He does some great content, but he did a documentary a long time ago that I watched that just was like fundamental in my brain, just basically going through all these old, burger places across the country. And that's what always inspired me, these burger stories, like the Oklahoma fried onion burger is a big
Dude,
one.
I want one of those.
They're so good. And
I mean, you can make them easy.
They
right?
can. Well, the trick is, and George wants to tell you this, and from experience, I've learned this. The trick to a good Oklahoma fried onion burger is the one thing that nobody wants to buy, which is a deli slicer. Because that's the only way to get those onions that thin, is you need a deli slicer, and it's sweet onions, not yellow, not white, but deli onions and a deli slicer.
You can do it with a mandolin, right?
You can do it with a mandolin, but deli slicer, it'll make them that like ribbon thin.
Yeah.
So like doing Oklahoma fried onion burgers, we have a goober burger on the menu, which is peanut butter and sweet pickles.
Dude,
it's so good.
I'm a peanut butter guy.
It's so good. Well, think of like a pad thai. I'm
not really a fan of sweet pickles, but I'm willing to try that burger.
So the sweet pickles are what we added, but that sweet pickles give there's a brininess to it that complements the peanut butter, which then goes with the beef. It works. It sounds weird, but it works. So we do that. We have a house-made pimento cheese burger we call the Green Jacket, which I think is okay. I don't think Masters is going to sue us for that. And then we do the Smoke Hound, which is the barbecue with Benton's bacon, the smoked cheddar. What else do we do? The original, just grilled onions and cheese. And then we'll try to do some specials here and there. Like we did a Hawaiian burger with a teriyaki marinated pineapple slice, grilled Spam.
Ooh.
And provolone cheese, and then a Hawaiian style barbecue sauce.
Okay,
that was good.
You could do those as not to make more work for you, but I mean, you could do those if you just wanted to like run as a special for a week or something. Yep. Just make them into sliders using the Hawaiian rolls.
The Hawaiian rolls, yeah, that would be a good idea. So we've done that. We did like a pizza burger, so marinara sauce, mozzarella, and what was the it's like sopressata, like a high end pepperoni. But the basic menu is going to be our original smash burger, the goober, the Green Jacket, and the Smoke Hound.
Yeah. All right. What are you doing for hot dogs, man? I mean, that's a basic thing.
So hot dogs. How long have you lived in South Carolina?
I've lived here 6 years.
Okay. They're weird about hot dogs.
I've never been to Skins.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Skins is an institution.
I've never been, so I don't.
It's good.
Have any opinion?
If you do come down to Anderson, I do recommend going to the original one.
The only hot dogs I eat here is the $1.50 at Costco.
Okay, you would love.
Oh, it's
Skins.
A Polish dog.
You
right?
would love Skins.
Yeah,
Skins is great. It's affordable and it's pretty good food.
If I go there, I'm probably going to get a chili dog.
Oh yeah, get a chili dog with the onions, and the mustard,
Yeah.
and you can get like 20 for $1. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's awesome. But the original location, it has a ton of character. There's the only one that serves beer, to my knowledge. They have like all these signs up that say, yes, we serve beer, but please limit it to one per person or something. They're very like straight and narrow on it. But my point in all the hot dog conversation is about everybody here does boiled dogs, which I don't like.
No,
I don't like the flavor. I don't like the texture. So what was a big thing for me when we did hot dogs, I wanted a natural casing because I like the snap of a burger, and we were going to do of the casing, and I was going to do it on the grill, like a flat top grilled hot dog. We did change that. We actually deep fry the hot dogs. A friend of mine, Charleston, put me onto that. So we drop them in the deep fryer for a few minutes. And it just adds a little bit of crispiness and texture to it that complements the snappiness of that natural casing. But so right now we use this, and I'm going to mispronounce it. Someone from New Jersey is going to be really upset. Solens, I believe is how it's pronounced. So it's a half beef, half pork. They hickory smoke theirs, and it's in a natural casing. And I think it has a great flavor. I think it's the best hot dog that I've ever had. And I'm not saying that because you can buy these at Publix. Go buy them and try them. You don't have to come to Matty's Patties to get it. But that's the hot dog we use. It's kind of, if you've ever been to Ben's Chili Bowl in D.C.
I've never been to D.C.
Okay, well, go to D.C. to Ben's Chili Bowl. They do.
I'm going to make a trip.
They do. I would. You tell me when, I will go with you. I miss Ben Chili's Bowl. But they do half smokes, which are half pork, half beef, and they're smoked, and they grill them on and that's what I kind of wanted to do as an inspiration to that.
So you're frying your hot dogs?
Yeah, we deep fry hot dogs.
Deep fried beef tallow hot dog.
Yeah, deep fried hot dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you using the potato buns?
Yeah.
Do they make the same thing?
Martin's makes a split top potato bun. They only make them for restaurants for some reason. But so we use a split top potato bun, and then we have a house made chili, slaw, and onions and mustard.
Man, I got it. That sounds so good.
It is, with that and a burger and some fries. It's cheeky fries. We do garlic Parmesan cheese on the fries.
Okay,
it's good.
Straight up like russet potatoes.
So let's talk French fries. Let's say the quiet part out loud. It's like my friends like to say. We use frozen French fries. We don't hand cut them. We tried when we first started kind of testing recipes for Matty's Patties with the truck. We're like, oh, it'd be great. We hand cut fries. Like, how cool is that? It's a pain in the ass is what it is. Because to make like a fry that you get at McDonald's, right? That crispy on the outside, soft pillow on the inside.
It's twice fry.
Oh, so you cut them, rinse them.
Yep.
Parboil them in vinegar. Then you fry them, you par-cook them in a fryer at a low temperature.
Yep.
And then ideally you actually do freeze them. Then you fry them to cook them.
Yeah, all those show up at McDonald's. They're already cooked. They just need to be crisp.
Flash frozen. They're flash frozen. Then you fry them again to get the color on them and to crisp the outside. So it's like, why go through all that work, right? Why waste all that time when there is some place somewhere, I don't know where it is, but it's a magical place where they're just doing that all day. And they fry them up, and they put them in bags after they're frozen. They put those bags in a box, and I take that bag and I open it. I put it in my fryer, and it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And they're delicious. And, I've had, like, once I started learning more about French fries, you go to a place, and it's like, oh, we hand cut our fries, and they're not very good. It's because they don't do all that stuff.
Well, see, that's the deal with not Five Guys, with by the way, I really like Five Guys French fries.
Yeah, Five Guys French fries are great.
The Cajun fries.
Cajun fries.
Got to get the
yep.
Cajun fries. But that's the thing with In-N-Out. You'll see the guys back there, and they've got the thing, and they're ramming the russets through this.
Yep, and they're rinsing the starch out. Yeah,
but their fries, no.
You got to order them well done, and even that, they're still not.
I mean, the only way to get good French fries from In-N-Out is to order them animal style.
Animal style, yep. Yeah, well done animal style.
That's what you got to do.
Yep.
But I was talking with Corey Rutland from Local Pie. His pizza truck.
Yes, yeah.
And he was saying the same thing about you, or the same thing that you just said. In his world, he's like, we order our dough.
Yeah.
From a company. And people are like, do you make your own dough? And he's like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Number one, it's super labor intensive.
Right.
It takes a lot of time.
Yep.
And there's this company that has perfected the art of making pizza dough.
Yep.
So why would I
not?
Why would I do something else? And so I see what you're saying. For all of that work to get, quote unquote, the perfect French fry, number one, you don't have time.
No.
I don't have the time. I don't have the manpower.
Yep.
Don't have the space.
Yep.
So I'm just going to order from this company that's already done, 95% of the work. All I've got to do is drop it in the fryer into my nice beef tallow.
Yeah.
To get that final fry to crisp the outside.
Right. And I won't say the name because one, they're not in business, and I don't want to feel like I'm dogging another food truck.
Yeah.
But there was a food truck here in Greenville, and they did hand cut fries, and they advertised them as triple fried hand cut fries, and they were good. Don't get me wrong, they were good. But the whole time I'm eating, I'm like, how much work did this take to make these fries that I'm going to consume in 3 minutes? This took you days to make, and I could go to McDonald's and get kind of a similar experience. That was my problem with hand cut stuff. It's just where's my resources and energy to get put into, and it's the burger. That's what we sell as a burger. The fries are just kind of something that go with it. You dip it the ketchup, it gives you that flavor with it that everybody likes with a burger. But I mean, honestly, I wish we did not hash browns, tater tots. Friend of mine's tater tots.
I'm down with tater tots, man.
Well, they hold better. That's the thing about tater tots. They hold better under a warmer. They stay crisp longer.
Yeah. There's a place here in Easley that if I'm wanting a burger, we'll go to just right over this way. It's 5 minutes. Tropical Burger.
Oh yeah, I've never been over there.
Oh man, they're so good.
Is it good?
Oh, it's really good.
Okay, I might. Yeah. Are they open for dinner?
I think they're open till 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we make it that long. If we don't make it that long.
We're an hour and 36 minutes in. We'll be done before. If you wanted to go to Tropical Burger,
I don't need to go that bad.
We could do it.
I'd go to McDonald's. People are like, oh, you
double quarter pounder with cheese, hold the onions, extra pickles. That's for me.
Add Mac sauce, and I'm getting
add what?
Mac sauce.
What's that?
The Big Mac sauce.
Oh, Thousand Island.
Yes, but it's good on a double quarter pounder. Is great.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that would be the only time I'll eat ketchup on a burger is if I just order it from
McDonald's or something.
Joint. Yeah. I normally I'm no. I was super disappointed that the Habit closed here in Easley. I loved it.
Habit.
Because the Habit, it's a West Coast California thing. It opened up here in Easley.
Yeah.
There's another one in Greenville.
Yep, there is.
I love the Habit.
I love the Habit.
So
Habit
good.
was good. Yeah, I didn't know there was one up here.
There was.
Oh.
Yeah, but they went out of business.
Man,
so,
rip.
All right, man. Now let's talk about breakfast.
Okay.
You're already. I've seen postings on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Sausage and cheese biscuit. What do you guys do?
We do a sausage egg. We basically can do a biscuit or a potato roll, and then you just go from there. So potato roll or hamburger.
How many
bun.
people are getting it on a potato roll?
That's how we used to do it on the truck before we started doing biscuits.
Biscuit's the way to go.
It is good, but the potato roll, there's something about it. Something like a breakfast sandwich is, I don't know, it's good. But so, yeah, we do.
Well, it's still a sandwich, even if it's in a biscuit.
Right, it's in a biscuit.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's the question. $10,000 question.
Is a taco a sandwich?
I suppose it is.
Yeah, right? Because it's flour, right?
What if it's corn?
Well, it's true. I don't know. Anyway.
I just felt a slight tear in the universe.
The logic is breaking down slowly.
The space-time continuum has been disrupted. Is a corn tortilla taco a sandwich?
Yeah. Does what constitutes the construction of the apparatus that holds the ingredients together? Does it have to be made out of flour?
Well, I had a friend who his position is that a pizza is an open face sandwich.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because a calzone's a sandwich. And then calzone's a folded up pizza.
That's true.
Which I don't like calzones.
It's a pizza sandwich.
It's a pizza sandwich, yeah.
You don't like calzones?
Not really. I'd try that for pizza.
Huh.
It's like
it is a pizza.
I know, but it's not. It's not a pizza.
It's a pizza with a bottom and a top. I mean, it's a self-contained. It's a pizza hand pie.
You ever seen that? Have you seen these like rage bait videos where these guys they'll like make a pizza and then they like dehydrate it, grind it up, and then they make a pizza dough with that pizza, and they do like 100 times over. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and I watched all of it.
Yeah, that's the real thing. Like,
I watched it.
That's okay. This is audio only, and he just did a big face palm. So
I know, but I
watched. That was the face palm. Why did I waste my time watching this guy make a taco out of 30 other tacos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder. Can it actually be any good?
No, it's like going back to the blend conversation. It's like you go down this rabbit hole of all these blends and these cuts of meat, but then you put our burger sauce on it, you put American cheese, you put it on a toasted potato roll, and the beef's been seasoned where like that all that nuanced, subtle flavor it's lost. It's lost in all the sauce.
Yeah, because now it's just been put in a blender.
Right.
And
then you've got more cheese on top. I just can't imagine it tasting any better than just a regular pizza.
Yeah. So anyway, you're doing sausage and cheese bacon, biscuits or on
a potato roll.
Are you doing
hamburger
sausage, egg, and cheese?
We do sausage. We can do sausage. We have sausage, bacon, and country ham, and then we can do egg and cheese, and then we do hash brown patties like McDonald's.
I think probably if they're fresh, the McDonald's hash brown is my favorite thing at McDonald's.
Especially when they're in beef tallow. They're even better.
I mean, they're
so good. They're crunchy and chewy on the inside. Oh,
yeah.
A little bit of salt on them.
So, but is that all that's on offer is just the breakfast biscuit?
We just added some because we felt like it was maybe a little too basic. So we made one of the cooks we have, he came up with a breakfast sandwich, and then we made a couple other ones. So we have one that's called the lineman, which is exactly what you think it is. It's 2 sausage patties and bacon and 2 fried eggs and cheese.
Oh.
So when you really got to work.
It's a serious
sandwich. And then we have the sling blade, which is basically a sausage, egg, and cheese with a hash brown patty and mustard, from the movie.
Okay.
French fried potatoes, mustard.
I've never seen it.
You ever seen it? Okay.
Yeah, but I know
that's a deep pull. Pull. And then we have
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. And then we have we have caviar for breakfast, this is what my cook came up with: pimento cheese, sausage, our burger sauce, and sweet pickles with an egg and cheese on there too. And so that's caviar for breakfast.
Yeah,
because pimento cheese is the Carolina caviar.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You guys, do you have Silva coffee on order?
Yeah, we have Silva coffee.
Nice.
We got it's a funny story. We're trying to find a coffee grinder because the place did not have a coffee grinder. The place that we were leasing,
Savages.
Yeah, it just had a bun drip coffee machine. So I was looking online, hunting for a coffee grinder, and if you're not familiar with restaurant equipment, those are like thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah,
they're very expensive. So I was on Facebook Marketplace trying to find one. And I found one. A guy had a few other pieces of restaurant equipment for sale. And we had one of those. It was a coffee grinder. It had 2 bins so you could put 2 different beans. This was perfect. We can do decaf and regular. He didn't have a price on it. So I messaged him and said, hey, what do you want for that coffee grinder? And he goes, $300. What? Excuse me? I said, I told my wife, I said, hey, we're going to go and meet this guy. And it was funny. The story goes that he worked for Panera, and the Panera was moving away from fresh ground coffee, and so they were getting rid, air quotes, getting rid of them, and he had it. I don't know. I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
It was funny. He plugged it up and it worked. I was like, great. And it was so it's $300. And I said, yeah. So I have cash for him. And it was the look he gave on my face was like, oh, you're buying it today? Bro, I drove from Anderson to Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, I'm not coming back. I'm buying it today. Either I'm buying it or I'm not. This is it. And so anyway, so we have fresh ground coffee. We don't. It's all.
I love that, man, because you go to Bojangles or wherever it is you go for your breakfast, and the coffee there is gosh, and I've had it. It's miserable. Although I have heard people say that McDonald's has good coffee.
I've heard that too. And that Chick-fil-A.
Really
Chick-fil-A is pretty good coffee.
if you go to Matty's Patties for breakfast, man,
You get fresh ground
you're
coffee.
getting legit, locally roasted, excellent coffee.
Yep.
That's awesome. In fact, I was trying to remember whenever you mentioned Silva, it took a few minutes for the hamster in my head to make a few revolutions in the wheel. But I was like, oh yeah, my guy from Silva's the one that said, hey, you should interview Matt. From
Yeah, he was
Patties.
the one. Yeah, Trey. Trey is awesome. Sweet Trey. He's given us a big break by not adhering to any minimum. So I'm just like, hey, can I get 5 pounds? Yeah, sure, I'll bring it to you. Okay, thanks, Trey. Appreciate it.
Oh man, they're great people.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, it probably is. I told him, like, I'm not, as the kids say, I'm not glazing. Like my wife and I like coffee. We drink it every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't remember where I got a bag of his coffee from. It may have been from Providence Farm when they had their retail store. But I put it in our coffee machine. And normally, like a friend of ours had gifted us like one of those, hey, you get fresh coffee beans from a different place every month, kind of thing. And every time we used it, I was like, this is fine, it's coffee, whatever. I don't know if I could tell a difference between one or the other. But then when we had that bag of Silva, like I took my first sip and I was like, holy crap, this is really good coffee. And I'm not like there's a nuttiness here and there's fruitiness. It's just good coffee. And that's what I like when I drink something or when I eat something. It's just good. It doesn't have to be complicated. We overcomplicate things all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you drink your coffee?
Black.
Oh, you're a big boy.
Well,
I can't do it. Maybe I'll try it this week.
It is pretty strong at Matty's Patties. We haven't dialed the grinder just right. I like my coffee a little strong, so that's how we make it. But sometimes I'll get cream in my coffee, and it is a very pleasant experience. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, you're not a man if you don't drink black coffee, brother. No, it's whatever. You do what you want to do. I don't care. Put 10 sugars in it and have like a coffee hinted cup of milk. That's fine with me.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine.
It's your coffee.
Do that. So what's the future plans for Matty's Patties? Are you just happy with what you've got?
Yeah, it's world domination basically. We're just gonna go coast to coast.
Heck yeah, man.
No, Sarah's gonna hear this. She's gonna have a heart attack. No, like you were talking about skins. Like that's kind of what, like that's my vision for Matty's Patties is like we have one in Greenville. We have one. I have a handshake agreement with my friend in Charleston. He's not going to go above Columbia. I won't go south of Columbia because he does. If anyone in Charleston's listening, Smash City Burgers, great burgers, probably the best burgers in Charleston. Jeremy is a great guy, great business. He has a food truck and a place downtown. Go there. Great burgers. But so we have a handshake agreement. He will not travel as past Columbia, and I won't go past Columbia either direction.
So the plan, we want to expand, but we're going to keep it local. Yeah,
keep it local, like 4 or 5 locations. Like my vision, I had some friends and mentors kind of pass this along to me of as a small business owner, I've got 2 beautiful daughters. I hope at one point Matty's Patties is to a point where, if they're getting to that college age, we can go, hey, look, if you guys want to go on Matty's Patties, great. Let's do it. You guys can run one location, whatever, give the crash course and own a small business. Or they say, hey, Dad, I want nothing to do with burgers. I hate burgers. I'm a vegetarian. I don't want to touch beef because that's all we've eaten for the past 18 years. Great. My wife and I can exit a successful business. We can retire. They can go to college, do whatever they want to do. It's up to them. But that's kind of the vision. That's where we want to build a brand that is successful, that serves quality food at a reasonable price, that people can be. I mean, our motto is the friendliest burger in the world, and that's what we try to exude when people come into the cafe in any location that we have, just to get that friendly experience.
No, that's awesome. That I've said it before on the podcast, but I'll say it again. Interviewing Chef John Malick many episodes ago, and he's a restaurant coach and he's a lot of things, but I just remember him saying a restaurant that has fabulous food and crappy service will lose out every time to a restaurant with phenomenal service and average food.
Yeah. Well, and that's so true. And I've tried to talk to our staff about this, and not that no one's listening, but they just get taken back. I'd rather, if someone has a minute issue with what they ordered, I'll give their money back. I just don't want that to be a part of the conversation anymore. If you weren't happy, here's your money back. But normally, the caveat is you have to tell us. Nothing aggravates me more when someone comes into our restaurant, they have a poor experience, and then they leave. They don't say, hey, this bacon was kind of salty, or, this burger, it really wasn't enough food for me. I felt like it was a little too expensive. Then we have a conversation. We'll say, well, here, this is why our burger costs the way it costs. This is why your bacon was salty, because you asked for it well done. Or my burger was dry. Well, you got a well done burger with no sauce, no cheese. But that conversation always starts with, hey, I've refunded your money. So the money's not an issue anymore.
Right.
It is off the table. And but like I said, none of the aggravates more. I went there and it was too expensive. Well, you ordered a smoke hound, which has 4 pieces of Benton's bacon, and you got two Cokes and a side of cheeky fries. Yeah, that's a $40 ticket. What did you expect? You ordered the most expensive stuff on our menu.
Yeah. If you're going to complain the burger's dry and you get no cheese, no sauce, I mean, you're eating a well-done burger between 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah.
It doesn't get
any drier than that. As someone that likes plain cheeseburgers, that's pretty dry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we try to exude. Like when we have customers, if they have a problem, like I've even gone so far as to, there was one guy, he was on a rant about us. And I went back into our point of sale system and refunded his money. I found his order and I said, look, I've refunded your money. Like it's not about that anymore. Like we want to make it right. And we want you to come back and have a better experience, or at least try us again.
Absolutely.
Because we're all humans, right? And that goes for any restaurant, not just us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's AI has not taken that part of our sector over yet. There's still someone cooking that food.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe he had a bad day.
It's all about customer experience. Yep. I remember running my cigar bar at a concert, and some guy bought what did he buy? I know exactly what he bought. Give me just a second. He brought a Romeo and Juliet bully, and he said, "Hey man, where can I smoke this?" And I told him where he could smoke it. Based on the last time that I was there.
Right.
So he goes off, he's doing his thing, he's smoking his cigar. Probably 30 minutes later, he comes back and he says, "Hey man, I was enjoying my cigar and they told me that I couldn't smoke it where you said I could smoke it." And I'm like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about that." I reached in, I grabbed another cigar just like the one he bought. I'm like, "Here man, take this with you." Yeah, because I never, as a small business owner, like, I never want anybody to walk away from my cigar bar having had a bad experience.
Right. Never,
never. It's not, never. That's not acceptable. If you, maybe you you wind up not liking the cigar you bought. Okay, well, we can have that conversation.
Absolutely.
But if I did something wrong, or there was something wrong with the product, maybe you got a cigar and then, like in the situation we have tonight, the cigar blew up on you, whatever. Okay, we can talk about that. I can make it right. I can fix it, whatever. But it's just, I don't want to give anybody a reason to walk away from my business and complain.
Yeah, never. Yeah. That's, like I said, that's why the conversation always starts with, we've refunded your order. Like, we've given your cash back. We've refunded your credit card. Now let's talk, because I don't want that to be, well, I paid too much. You didn't pay for anything for it anymore. Like, the money's out of the question.
Right.
So let's get down to the bottom of what you didn't like and see how we can fix it the next time.
Yeah.
Well,
let's talk a little bit about just some business stuff, because we're already in that mode right here. I'm talking about like money and getting rid of that as an excuse for what's really going on. But just a few other business things, like what would, having run a food truck and then made that leap from food truck to brick and mortar, like what advice would you give to somebody that's dreaming about like starting up a food concept?
You never have enough money. You're never going to have enough money. I think like somewhat, my friend told me when we started the cafe, he said, you probably need $50,000 in your bank account, which is like an irrational number to me. Like, that's, and I think that's it's going to be hard. Like we are in the thick of it right now. The food truck was a little bit of a soft launch. It didn't feel that hard to us because it was all kind of there, right? If the truck wasn't running, we weren't really like the restaurant right now. It is costing me money as we're recording this podcast because I have utilities, I have rent. Like there's refrigerators that are running that I have to pay for.
That register's dinging every second of the day.
Every second of the day. So food truck's a little bit different. You don't necessarily, if you're not running the truck, there's not necessarily a cost as part of that.
Right.
We joke with I can't say this anymore because I'm trying to sell a food truck. I was like, oh, I want to start a food truck. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a lot of work, and people don't understand how much work it is. And that was like we would get some pushback from local restaurants if we were like downtown somewhere, like, oh, you guys are trying to undercut us. Like, no, we're really not. Food trucks have to adhere to the same health codes that restaurants have to adhere to. There's a lot more operational things that have to go into place when it comes to having like gasoline for the truck and also gas for the cooking equipment. All that cooking equipment that is on the food truck is not designed to move. It's all designed to be in a restaurant. It's a stationary building. So you're going through a ton of wear and tear on equipment. Most manufacturers won't warranty any of the equipment because it's on a food truck. We found that out the hard way. And then you have to deal with, food safety and stuff where you've got refrigerators where you can't have refrigerators where you normally would have refrigerators because there's a wheel well under the grill. So, I think the biggest piece of advice that I have is from one business owner. If someone else is looking at starting a business, regardless of what the business is find good mentors. Like we wouldn't be where we were if we didn't have friends like Jeremy in Charleston, Billy Kramer in Atlanta, and the countless other people that have been in an ear, like even just guys on Instagram I've never met before. There's guys that I talk to that have burger food trucks or restaurants, and we exchange DMs and we talk, hey, I'm doing this and this is not working. How are you making it work? You just have to be open about what's working and not working and ask people. And normally people are willing to help.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
That's an interest, like from my outsider looking in, that's an interesting take to have a restaurant in Greenville or wherever say to a guy running a food truck that you're trying to undercut us. Like, this is the competition of a capitalist system. Right. I mean, I'm not intentionally trying to undercut you, but it's just like, is the guy opening a McDonald's franchise 2 blocks away trying to undercut you?
Right.
Like what? Well, I don't understand.
Unfortunately, like in some of that, you're going to get me on a soapbox. That sort of protectionism is sort of starting to get baked in. Like even in Anderson, there's ordinances in place where food trucks cannot be 200 feet from a restaurant. And like Greenville has ordinance like that. So I mean, Greenville, you couldn't have trailers, a food trailer in downtown until like 3 years ago. That was a huge deal because you had to at Greenville's out of pocket, $500 for an annual license to run a food truck in Greenville. Charleston, I think, is $100 for Charleston.
Wow.
It's wild. And Greenville, shout out the city of Greenville, they don't prorate it. So it's due, I think, in April or May, because we were going to get our Greenville city license to run the food truck in Greenville, and it was right before the renewal date. They were going to hit us with $500, and then a month later we were going to be hit for another $500.
That's
ridiculous.
Robbery.
It's robbery. So yeah, there's a lot. Food trucks deal with a lot of stuff that restaurants just don't have to deal with.
Yeah,
like we've had our generator go out on us during service. Like
always fun.
That's super fun. And it was funny. Like we were very fortunate and very blessed to like have our truck run as well as it ran for us. Like I was telling my friend, hey, what do I do? Like my friend Jeremy, and he was like, I have lost count the number of times I've cooked on a food truck without power. Like you just do it. Like, why are you complaining? Just do it. Like, because I don't want to. Because it's 1,000 degrees in here and there's nothing taking the air out and I'm suffocating. Yeah, it's just, you just got to suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
Get it done. And that's what we did. But you don't have that at a restaurant unless you have like a hurricane come through.
Right.
You know, you're always going to have power.
Mm-hmm.
I won't have power all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a good lesson.
Yeah. So big advice: find a mentor, find somebody to talk to. And then I've noticed that, like in this industry, is if you're willing to be honest and upfront with your peers, they're going to do the same. There's very few people that I've run into that are like, "Ooh, I don't want to talk. Don't talk to me. Like I'm not going to share those." There's some people like my friend, the Trip Burgers. They do the blend with the bacon. They have like an NDA for that blend, so he's not sharing that with me.
Yeah.
But he'll talk shop with me all the time about what they're doing and what they find successful. And I think that's what's really important. I think for any business, really.
Yeah. Well, so if somebody out there is listening and they're thinking about starting up a whatever, doesn't matter if it's a food truck or something like I do with a mobile cigar bar or whatever,
Which is a way more fun business.
Yeah, it's
way more fun.
Yeah, but it's a much smaller. It's a much smaller market, man. Everybody eats burgers virtually.
Everybody, yeah, it's true.
That's
true.
Not everybody smokes cigars, and then finding the places that will allow you to smoke
cigars. Yeah,
there's all that. But I would say nearly 100% of the time, somebody that's streaming about this is kind of like a side hustle or whatever. They're already working, and they're working a 40-hour or whatever, or 32 or whatever it is.
Yep.
And you're a 2-job guy.
Yeah.
So what kind of perspective can you give about working, you're a family man working 2 jobs at once, time management, just like all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some of it is you just kind of have to deal with it. There's also, I think there's a point, and this is kind of the point where I'm at right now, and it's a conversation I've had with my boss about it, is like, am I serving 2 masters? And that's like when I was at Night Force and we had the food truck, the way the food truck schedule was, the way my work schedule was, the food truck, if it was on, it was on, but I could either work around the food truck schedule of my work or vice versa. With a restaurant, it's not really the case. I kind of have to be there at this point. And fortunately, we have really great staff, so I can be there and work my 9-to-5 job. And I told my boss, I was like, actually, this is because we work from home, so this is a way less distracting environment than my 2 beautiful, wonderful daughters, vying for my attention. My customers aren't, dragging them, hey, let's watch Bluey. They're not doing that. They're just eating their burgers and they're leaving. But at the same time, I'm well aware of, am I harming the growth of my business by staying at this job? On the flip side, am I harming this job by trying to do my business? Right. So that's like what you have to come to that. There's a point. And I think I'm getting to that point, but there's a point. And it's being very aware and being self-aware of where that point is.
Yeah, you can only do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a lot. I was a realtor, and then I had my cigar business, and then I started this podcast, and I was doing some other things. And then my wife had her health crisis, and I'm looking at everything that now I have to do on top of that.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And I was praying and asking God for wisdom and direction on what, if anything, I have to let go of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, real estate, I let go of it. It was a no-brainer. Real estate's tough. I don't have a huge circle. It wasn't making me any money. It was costing me money. So I'm like, okay, that's done. I'm finished with that. Some other stuff I was thinking about on the side, I'm like, I can't do that anymore either.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let go of the podcast because considering the situation, like the podcast is once a week.
Right.
I'm not doing daily content. I'm doing it weekly, but just for my personal needs and connection and just being able to step away from some things that are difficult, it allows me to get out, smoke a cigar, have a good conversation with somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's fun. I really enjoy it. So I'll keep that. And then my cigar business, most of that stuff is like, it's event driven. So it can be kind of sporadic, evening, weekend, and I can still handle that. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. You just can't do everything.
No, you can't do everything. It's impossible.
And like you said, you're going to reach a point if you're a 2-job guy and you're working 40 hours a week for this business, but you have a passion for this and you start growing that.
Yep.
Eventually, you're going to have to make a choice.
Yep. That's kind of where we're at currently. Like in this day and time, this moment is like where we're trying to figure out what that looks like and what are we not doing or not able to do with me working a 9 to 5 that needs to get done for Matty's Patties.
Yeah.
And like I said, the flip side is, what am I not doing in my 9 to 5 that I could be doing if it weren't for Matty's Patties, right? And that's not, like we're talking about being Christians and stuff. It's not, we're not called to serve two masters.
You can't. And
so it's not fair to that company, right? It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to my company. So you can't
give them both 100%.
You can't give them both 100%, not at all. And
and to multiply that situation, if you're focused on being the best employee you can over here and doing the best that I can for Matty's Patties, how much do I have left to give my wife and daughters?
Exactly. Yeah. Very little. Yeah. Which is not fair to them.
No.
At all. So, yeah. Having a lot of tough conversations this past week.
Well, it's just stuff for people to think about if you want to start a business, which is fine, man. If you have a desire for something, you have an idea, you think you can be great at it, go for it. But just be prepared that you're going to come to a tipping point. If you start seeing some success, you're going to have to choose some stuff.
Well, I personally think, as a joking, kind of being sarcastic, I think everybody should have a business that just tries, even if it's something like doing real estate. Like, it doesn't have to be opening a restaurant. You could have a vending machine or a car wash, like something, just so like you can learn a little bit about what it takes to run a business.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's like people always say everybody should wait tables for a year. It's the same thing. It's like,
it sucks.
It does suck. We don't make our employees wait tables because it's a nightmare.
I've done it.
I've never done it, and I'm okay with that. But I do think people should try to dabble in what that would look like to own a business, run a business. What would it be? Because I don't know. I feel like that's kind of American to do. Like, there's businesses out there. You could probably, someone listening to this podcast, you can do a better job at a business that you're doing. Like, you're spending money somewhere that you could probably do a better job at that place. So do it. Try it.
Yeah.
The worst thing that happens is it's not successful. Okay, then you go back to the workforce.
Right.
Oh, I had a gap in my resume. Okay, for what? Well, I started a business and it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. Okay. The employers are not going to get scared about that.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so at all. And I generally think if you've got enough passion in it, you're probably going to be successful enough to where you won't have to go back to the workforce.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man, let's wrap this up. We're a little over 2 hours in, and it's cold.
It is getting a little. I'm starting to see my breath more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not the cigar smoke.
No, it's not. So, a question I try to ask everybody at the end: if you have the names of a couple of people local that you know doing some cool stuff, entrepreneurs or whatever, that maybe I should invite to be a guest.
Okay, so Dylan at Fork Grove Barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would be. I don't know if he smokes cigars, but I'm pretty sure he'd be down.
It's not required for my guest,
but I'm pretty sure he would be down to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely one of his. I got another guy, Nick Meeks. He's the owner of our gym that we go to, Electric City Fitness, TLK Fitness. You could probably talk to him for 4.5 hours, and that's I'm not exaggerating. That's probably on the light side. He is a very fascinating individual and has a lot of great opinions about things. He just like the stuff that he thinks about. I'm like, where'd you even come up with this stuff? He's great. So those would be the two: Nick Meeks and Dylan Cook. Awesome.
And one last time, what is the social media handle for Matty's Patties?
Yeah. So Matty's Patties, Instagram, Facebook is both at mattyspaties.sc. And we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Tuesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Matty's Patties SC. All right, man. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for giving me a cigar.
Yeah,
I usually am the one doing the cigars, but hey, man, that was super kind of you.
I'm so happy. Yep. In fact, I think I have one more club membership pack coming to me this week, and because I forgot to cancel it. So
absolutely,
I'll have 5 more coming soon.
Sweet. All right. Well, look, I appreciate you listening to Sunday Afternoon Smokes. If you've been enjoying it, I'd appreciate it if you drop me a review. Been hanging out with Matthew Bradford of Matty's Patties. And listen, take this episode, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on your socials, and share it with the world, because Sunday Afternoon Smokes is really sweet. We'll talk to you soon.